YouTube stream. Twitch has been acting weird, not showing it. Oh. Well. Did we get the message that said the ad break started? No, we didn't. What the? Did ads not play? Oh. Shit, I guess we got no ads. See, now, I don't know if I should start an ad break now, or, like, if we just can be ad-free this stream because Twitch is fucking up, you know? Like, I don't know what path to go down. I don't know. We'll do one more round of words. I guess it's an ad-free stream. I might be an ad-free stream. So we'll just do another round of words, and then I'll just go into the Luminara stuff. If we're not getting ad breaks. Another banger song? Yeah, my playlist got that shit. Sorry, question? What's up? Oh, sorry. Oh, you're saying sorry to question. Got it. I thought you were asking for, or like saying sorry, I have a question. My stupid ass. Oh my god, speaking of Ember! Y'all go follow Ember. Ember, we just got done. We just got done talking about your tweet. I read all of the, I read that fucking message, that god awful incel shit that you got sent. Yes, I read that. I like just got done talking about it, and then like an ad break was supposed to happen, so I put words on stream. But the ad break just didn't happen. But yeah, do not let the 4chan bald-headed stank walk by your air and they can tear you down. Oh my god, yeah, no, we were roasting the ever-loving shit out of that guy. That was rough. That was rough. We were talking all types of hot shit about him. So yes, remember that you're a bad bitch. Don't ever let a stank booty ass nigga make you think otherwise. Dog ass Wi-Fi trying to keep me from no-lifing words on stream. We're only one word away. Gritting ear to ear. Thanks. Love you. Yes, of course. There we go. Perfect level. Let's go. Okay, nice job, y'all. Okay, we end on the perfect level for now. Until if an ad break plays, question mark? Forgot to do the shout out because I was threatening you. It's okay. I think Ember has an auto shout out whenever she first comes in a chat. So, yeah, you didn't do anything wrong. Queen shit. Alrighty. It is time though. We've gone over our other little dramas and whatnot. It is time for us to discuss all the bullshit with Luminara. When I tell you I have 40 tweets and 2 Google Docs open for all of this. You find out that stank ass motherfucker suddenly dips off the face of the planet. It was probably us uploading malware through his PC. No, so genuinely. So genuinely. Alrighty. Are y'all ready for this? Are y'all ready for the 40 tweets that we're gonna be going through and discussing all of the Luminara shenanigans? Another victim for my Friday Night Funkin' That's true. 40 tweets and a docky and 2 dockies. Technically, we have, so like, some of the tweets, I think 3 of them and the 2 Google dockies aren't directly Luminara. They are Luminara adjacent. It's just stuff that came out because of everything happening with Luminara. So, we're starting off with, I am very appreciative of Alara because she kind of live tweeted as things were going on, and that kind of helped me keep track of everything that was happening. And so we're gonna get like Alara tweets summarizing things. Oh, Eggy, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Hello, welcome in, Raiders. Eggy, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in, everybody. If you don't know who I am, I'm YayJB, your two-form yappy bat tuber, and we are talking about some drama today. We are talking about the explosion, whatever you would like to call it, of Luminara Legacy, which was a VTuber agency for those who don't know. But that's our topic for today. How was the Monster Hunter Wilds? I hope you had a wonderful stream. If you got a raid to run, please make sure you take care of yourself. Stream's very tiring. But welcome in. So, getting into it, it all starts with technically some other tweets, but Alara surmises the other tweets that this morning, 3 Luminara talents have announced that they are parting ways with the company, and on top of this, an investor also broke ties, and owner Kamana announced he is transferring ownership. What's going on? And so she put screenshots of these three VTubers all saying, and so, oh, that's not what I wanted to move. All saying in some way or variation that, you know, we're no longer with Luminara Productions. I'm parting ways with Luminara. Saying, you know, I'm no longer affiliated with it. Made a lot of good memories. Met a lot of good people. All this, that, and the other. Somebody else saying that they said their involvement with the VTuber company was solely as an investor. That they had no hand in day-to-day operations, talent management, or that. But this was the investor that was dropping out. And then, I believe this was Kamana had posted in the Discord. I'll probably bring it back in a week or two. I just want some peace while I transfer ownership. We're at a point where I'm more focused on family and health than I am of internet points. I'm not getting younger, and this isn't doing me any favors. Hope you guys will continue to ride with me, even though I probably won't be doing the VTubing management stuff anymore. So that's like a synopsis of how we initially got here. And when I tell you this shit, it just spanned all day, because this was posted by Alara at like 9:45 in the morning on May 26th. All of this went down on May 26th. So a little bit before this, because this isn't included in here and I don't have the screenshots, but a little bit before this, I want to say maybe 2 to 3 weeks before this, Mythos, which is another VTuber agency, had also made a tweet where they just said that they were no longer with Luminara. They were no longer like involved with Luminara whatsoever, that they parted ways with them as well. So that happened, and people were like kind of, you know, side-eyeing it, but that was the only thing that had happened that day. So there's no questions. Luminara didn't come out and say anything. It seemed to be like a one-off until May 26th, whenever what seemed to be the span of all Luminara talent and anybody Luminara adjacent comes out to say that they were breaking ties. Just talking to the studio when that tweet went out. Oh my goodness. So we get into one of the people, Pixel Painter, had tweeted out effective immediately. I'll no longer be working with Luminara. I wish I could say more, but that's all I can say for now. And quote tweeted saying, joins air quotes company to help with events. CEO fails to inform me and others about most changes within the company. Removes me from event staff without telling me. Starts seeing talent and staff leaving. Company implodes on itself. This is when I was like, this is going to be an all-day thing. Whenever I saw this tweet, because this was an hour after Alara's tweet about the 3 other people that left. And I think probably, 40 minutes after Pixel's first tweet saying that, you know, they were parting ways, I was like, okay, everything's about to come out now. So we then move into Charlotte Vale. This is the big tweet that kind of really did it in, and I feel like after this, everybody either quote retweeted this or just made their own post really going into why they were leaving or what was happening. So Charlotte tweets, I never wish to do a call out on my own platform, but I do feel this is important as I fear this person is a danger to women. I cannot speak for others who are true victims that I know are affected and have been through worse. I was lucky and just saw behaviors that are triggering. Me and the CEO of Luminara, Kamana, were seeing each other the last 18 days and talking about being a couple. We met at MomoCon in person, which, remember MomoCon, that's coming back up later. We met at MomoCon in person, and this is where I started to see red flags. All texts and conversation between us are primarily positive, for we were trying to move on, but after a Discord call last night, confirming my suspicions, I don't have anything left to say to him. Due to respect, I don't wish to expose who the victim is and just stick to my own experience, but this is the reason I'm making this post to begin with. And let me tell you, it's a good sized post here. Sorry, I had to drink some water before I get into this. So she starts by saying, 1, he was very pushy for sex. Granted, we are adults and we talked about sleeping together during the weekend, so this isn't a surprise, but it's just the way he would ask for it, forcing my hand down on his member, dragging my hand across his erection in public, even though I voiced plenty I'm not into public PDA to that extent. complaining about the condom, asking for a release and never getting one. Did he R-word me? No. I gave consent to do it, but it was uncomfortable. It's... Oh, Mike died? My mic died? Did my mic die? What? For me, it says I'm still audible, so I just need to make sure. Wrong chat, my bad. Oh, okay. Well, hi, Risky. All right, so that's point number 1. Number 2, he found out one of his talents. Oh, he found one of his talents to be extremely beautiful. She is, no denying that. But to keep repeating it over and over how pretty she is and trying to buy her things, it made me feel like he wanted to spend time with her and find a way to build a connection with her. So after I left, they could hook up. True or not sure, just a feeling. She didn't buy it though. So just Charlotte expressing her feelings on point number 2. Hi, Kobe, welcome in. Now, number 3, love bombing. During intercourse, he said, I love you. I don't know about you, but I can't love somebody after 18 days, especially if seeing other people. Then yesterday, he said, I love you again before hanging up, texting me, saying I said it. I never say that, and he for sure did. Then telling me to move in with him, and he will take care of everything for me. I've seen this pattern before, and I know the outcome. This is a narcissist. And then point number 4, lying. Regarding the R word in question, no one outright said to me it was or isn't. I only just met the people and I was a stranger to the group. So I took a back seat since I was confused. I heard too many sides. I didn't know what was true and what wasn't. But last night I heard from Kamana that everything is smoothed over. They talked. Everyone's moving on. My gut was telling me otherwise, so the victim in question and I talked over Discord last night, and she said the exact same pattern Kamana was showing. The attentions, the I love you, the let me fly you out and live with me. It was spot on, and no, nothing was smoothed over. The victim broke down in tears when I told her that he said, told her what he said, and she got a confession apparently of him saying that he did in fact R-word her. Have I heard this confession? No, but do I believe Kamana has the mindset and personality to be a manipulative person to get what he wants that could lead to that? 100%. And Charlotte finishes this off saying, as I said, I was lucky. I was not, you know what, but I did and do feel uncomfortable after the con and learning more about him as a person. I would never take the time to write this if I didn't feel he was a potential threat. And even though I know he is leaving the community, I at least hope this is a listen to me learn and actions do in fact have consequences. Then they say, I know this is a long read, but thanks for reading anyways. Thoroughly love it. Yes, very, very glad that she was able to catch on early. To be honest, oh, can we get a, actually, let me, talking about Luminara Legacies, explosion. There we go. Let me get a pin. There we go. So anybody, who comes in and doesn't know what we're talking about. But yeah, I mean, to be honest, from what it sounds like in the first part, I know she says she wasn't like, you know, raped, but it was very much it sounds like a coercion. It does low-key sound like it from what she's saying, that it sounds like she was kind of like really pushed into it. But I mean, she's saying that she, you know, she consented, but she did feel uncomfortable about it. So there is that. But the fact that there is an actual, like, you know, SA victim in this is pretty bad. They don't say who it is, but god damn, what happened to just running a business trying to I don't know. And like, I'm gonna be honest, like time and time again, I feel like it is just like, especially whenever it comes to VTubing, niggas just cannot be running a business. Like they can't just be running a business. It's always, oh, what can I get out of the women that I'm managing, or the women that I'm over? What can I get out of these people sexually? Instead of just, you know, focused on the money, which we're going to get into that too, actually, whenever it comes to the money of this. Because for those who don't know, Luminara was kind of viewed as, oh, what the? I just realized hold on. Why did I move this? Oh, I think I did move this. There we go. Luminara was viewed as the, whatchamacallit, something that came from the rubble and the dust settling of the Shoujo's explosion, and it was viewed as what was supposed to be an actual talent first agency where they don't take the money from the talents, but they still offer the talents, the ability to have editors and artists and everything that a normal agency provides. But normally an agency takes money from the VTubers. They take a cut of their revenue to put back into the business and to be able to provide these things. So Luminar was seen as, something very revolutionary because they were not taking any of the talent's money. But then you have to ask, how are you making money? How are you able to do things if you're not getting the money from your talents, right? Just keep that in mind. Luminara is not a VTuber. Luminara is a VTuber agency. Or was, I should say. It does not exist anymore. Or I don't think it will exist anymore. I thought they were legit and I was thinking about applying even if they ever held auditions. But yeah, no, it's not. Yep, how do they make money then? Great question. Keep that in mind. So, we start to get into my experiences with Luminara. So, Pingy, who is an artist, I believe, who was with Luminara, posted their screenshot, Google Doc screenshot here. They say, last November, I passed the Luminara auditions and have been in the talent server since. I met is it Ashley? Thank you for the follow, welcome in. I met the CEO in person at Anime Week in Atlanta last year, and while he had seemed really kind at first, lots of red flags kept popping up. I was desperate for an opportunity and tried to ignore the warning signs. Ultimately, thanks to my manager advocating for me, I decided not to sign the contract to debut. So some of the things that happened included, number one, when I first joined, my manager had asked questions about how the agency planned to operate long term. Remember how we brought that up? I had also asked questions on how Luminara gained anything from having me there because I was having trouble understanding how it works. How were they making money by having me there? Every time we asked clarifying questions, the CEO would get angry. One time he asked for an emergency call at 2 a.m. without my manager present after I had finished streaming because of this. King Crow, hello, welcome in. So, that's number one. Number two, he would also constantly belittle me for having no clout because I don't have a lot of followers. Number three, he showed me extremely disturbing imagery the first time we met in person. A video of live roaches getting sticks shoved through them, which, why would you show somebody that? What the fuck? What are we doing here? Number four, during what was supposed to be a work call, we spent lots of times listening to his music, which wasn't bad to listen to, but not the purpose of the call. However, when I sent a link to my original song because the applications we were filling out requested it, he started making fun of it and said it sounded like I had Tourette's. Now, there was a bit more, of course, but this is just me giving an overview of the situation. I don't know if talking about it is the right thing to do, and I don't know if sharing details would be more detrimental than helpful, but I just wanted to provide my perspective to help give more credence and support to the talents and the staff that have decided to part ways that probably can't go into details themselves. They've all been extremely kind, talented, and supportive, and do not deserve to be blamed. Thank you for reading. God damn. Is it just incel o'clock? Apparently, I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Dude's a straight up skid mark. I've never heard somebody called a skid mark, but you are 100% correct. You are 1,000% correct with that. This dude fucking sucks. Also, listening, you in what's supposed to be a work call, you make your clients listen to your music, and then whenever said client has their own music, you make fun of them and say it sounds like they have Tourette's, which that ableism for what? What the fuck is the point? Holy, and I cannot emphasize this enough. Genuinely, also hi Stroma. Genuinely though, so genuinely, I don't understand. What do you call a line of Reddit mods? Skid Row. No, okay, that's pretty funny. I wonder about music. He was listening. I don't know. But this was Pingy's experience. I should probably close out of these as I go through them. Hold on. Okay. And now we get into actually where this is out of order. Hold on. I have to move this over just a little bit. Okay. We're going to get into Smitten Seraph's post because they made two of them. So they quote tweeted Alara's tweet talking about like asking what was happening. Seraph says, I was given the opportunity to join Luminara and I turned it down. In the past, I worked with Kamana through 2 management groups that fell apart. Lots of people were hurt in those as well. I originally joined because he promised he would help with my social media as he was running Zentreya's YouTube, which, remember this, by the way, for those who don't know, Kamana, the CEO, was Zentreya's YouTube manager in the past. Remember that. Zentreya comes back. He was promising me growth, and I spent thousands on editors for him to hardly help and keep passing me off to others. When I met him in person, he kept flexing any and every connection he had. Although people cannot say shit for professional reasons, if you notice, there were many red flags around Luminara. It worried me so much seeing such amazing people working with them, talents and staff. I'm sorry for what you were going through. I'm sure many of you were blindsided. You deserve better. Which I'm going to be honest here. Oh, Nani, I'm so sorry you lost your streak. But also, hi, Nani. I'm going to be so honest here because of what Smitten Seraph says. They are correct in the fact that it, like, there were so many red flags. There were so many red flags that Luminara in itself raised, that Kamana raised, that everybody fucking ignored. And I'm going to say this now. I feel very bad for all of the talents, staff, everybody impacted and involved in this. I personally believe that somebody should have spoken out about these red flags. I think that there are people that probably did not read the contract fully and were just excited by, and to be honest, blinded by clout. I think a lot of people were in fact blinded by clout whenever it comes to Luminara, especially Kamana. He was very well known. Smitten Seraph says it here, but other people will also mention it. He was very well known to flex his connections and say that he has a connect with Zentreya because he used to be your YouTube manager. Oh, he has his connection with this big VTuber, that big VTuber, this, that, and the other. At the same time, I do believe that there should have been some bit of discussion between other people about some of these red flags. And like, I know why it didn't happen. I understand, people that are smaller not wanting to gain the wrath of him because he did flex these connections. And while they were not true a lot of the times, for the ones that were, there was no way to tell which ones were unless you went to that person and asked whoever he was flexing. And to, you don't want to be blackballed in the industry, which could be seen as a, like, actual thing that was possible with him flexing these connections. At the same time, I do put a little bit of blame on the larger VTubers in this scenario who did see the red flags and did nothing about it. Because I do feel like you have some type of responsibility to try to alert people, try to let people know that, maybe look into this a little bit more. Like, maybe actually read the contract, because from what people are saying, the contract is just a red flag. Like, that is just a red flag with lines of red flags in it. But I don't know. And again, this is my personal opinion. I don't know how he was. I don't know what was going on in the background to Luminara. Maybe this dude really and truly was just an incredible, insane master manipulator. But at the same time, I swear I do think that people were aware of these red flags. And I know they were aware because they talk about it in like these other tweets that I'm going to go through. They talk about how they saw the red flags. Even Smitten says that they saw the red flags. There were so many red flags around it. But people cannot say shit for professional reasons. I think that's bullshit. I think that's bullshit, and I think people should have spoken out, personally. But I do understand, like, not speaking out, not wanting to be blackballed, this, that, and the other. I don't know. I think just like because of how I am, and I'm very much an outspoken person. If I see bullshit, I'm gonna call bullshit. I hate to see this happen when like somebody like these people knew it was bullshit and just let like other people fall into the fucking sinkhole of shit. Why would big VTuber sacrifice their Nazi chat income when people are being sexually assaulted by a VTuber? Man, yeah. Unfortunately. We're having their lawyers getting into this. Had every right to speak in chat. Yes, like that's what it like. They could have warned VTubers already in the company, like giving them some kind of heads up. It's like, hey, you know, just even if you're not going to say it directly, you can give hints to something. Especially if you're in there and like you're seeing the red flags while you're in there. You can talk to other talents and be like, hey, you know, is it a little fishy? Like I like don't put your eggs all in one basket. You could literally just tell somebody like, don't put your eggs all in this basket. This basket looks like it's made with like fucking toothpicks and salt. It's not sticking together, basically. There's gotta be president. I don't know. I just feel that's oh my gosh. That hasn't made a secret alt account to be a whistleblower allegedly. Yeah, I don't fuck with willful ignorance whatsoever. Like people could have talked privately between each other or something. But so I can't stand some of these popular VTubers because they don't feel like they don't give a damn unless it. Oh, do I have thoughts on that? Give notice to a problematic person. You're classified as a shit talker until you're proved that a person is actually bad. Yes, that is very true. That is very true. Which like also does suck and like could be part of the reason of these people not really saying something because it's just viewed as shit talking or being messy, being drama, being nosy. But like I don't know. Also, your friend Navi, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Like I would not sit here and watch this happen knowing about these red flags and knowing about these things that like are genuine problems and just let people fuck up. Like I try to help people. I'm a helpful person. And I don't know. That just, it doesn't sit right with me. But you're right. Until somebody is like directly impacted themselves, they do not care. Which I do have something that I want to talk about. If I remember, I'll talk about this after I'm done going through all of the Luminara stuff. Because that did happen again. I'm a hater if I distrust, can't stand someone. I'm very exactly like I think that's why I personally, and that's why like I'm stressing so much. This is my own personal opinion. I'm not saying like this was possible. I don't know Kamana. I don't know Luminara. I don't know the people involved. Maybe he was really good at hiding it. Maybe you really just couldn't speak out about it. But for me personally, if I see something like this, I'm going to say it. Like, I'm going to try to warn people. I will give people a heads up. Even if you're trying to still be professional about it, you can say like, hey, again, just like, don't put all your eggs in this basket. Like, oh, do you like, you can even, cause this is a professional strategy, by the way. You can make it seem like their own idea. You can phrase things to where you kind of plant a seed in somebody's head and you water that seed and they think they grew it on their own, but you gave them the idea. But you don't have to take credit for giving them the idea. You could ask them like, oh, do you know how like Luminara is like profitable? Like, oh, do you know what like this scenario would be? And like make them start to think about the things and go, yes, ethical manipulation, yes. Daily, what happened to see something, say something? It's, I think GP Doki mentioned stuff similar to this like 7 to 8 months ago. Oh, I have no idea. But again, we're not even halfway through. We've gotten through like maybe 5 of like the 20 or the 40 tabs that I have open. So this was Sarah's first tweet. And so they then retweeted, like quote tweeted again with more information. Also, Chrono, hello, welcome in. They quote tweeted the Alara's tweet again with other information saying, because they said that they worked with Kamana in the past with two management groups that fell apart. They go in more detail on those two management groups. So they say Kamana ran Sakurai and then N1 and then Luminara. The more he did, the more it became obvious that he just wanted to have connections. I remember him flexing his connections to Mythos, SVA, Zentreya, VShojo, etc. All at all this time to make talents feel like there were future opportunities. He literally told me to use my connections to get places. When I posted about having a niche, that was him. He kept trying to get me to stick to one thing and wanted me to grow through that. It infuriated me. He kept telling me it'd be hard to grow in variety. He promised to reach out to events, companies, and people for me. I worry for any convention, projects, etc. that was being funded by the agency. Talents likely had projects in the works too. And they say I never signed any contracts so I can share these. So that's why for other people that might have signed, non-disclosure agreements and things of the sort, Sarah did not, so they are free to share this stuff. Remember Sarah mentioning how someone told them to use their connections? I was like, yeah, like, what are you? That's so grimy. The whole, use your connections to get places. Like, I don't know. That's always been like a very grimy thing to me. I know, like, that's how, like, some people do work and some things are in like that and work like that, but that like grimy is genuinely the only word that I can think of. Also let me where am I at? You ever see the guy's friend at the time and potential writer? I will make them call it. Yes, no, exactly. Like, you call them out. You call out that kind of shit. Said most VTuber agencies are ran and managed by men, are the ones who end up becoming problematic and having issues such as Luminara and VShojo. I don't know if it's to that extent. Strictly based off of, I don't know, like, who all is run all the VTuber agencies that have exploded, imploded, whatever you want to call it. And I'd say, to be honest, like, yeah, like, it's just agencies in general. I don't even think it's gender-based like that. I think it's just a lot of people, especially nowadays, because for those who don't know, right, VTubing was a very hot, fresh, new thing that was exploding in popularity, like, 2020, peak COVID, right? Everybody was at home. People were watching VTubers. That's where the rise and explosion. You get the creation of VShojo and all these talent agencies and all this, that, and the other. Times have changed. Times have changed significantly since then. And I feel like, and I've talked about this before, I feel like people that either are in agencies, have agencies like VShojo did, or want to start up agencies and do all of these other things, don't recognize the fact that times are not the same. VTubers are well known. VTubing is more accessible. VTubers, like, aren't this popular, brand new, shining out the box thing where you only had a couple people that knew how to even make VTubers and this, that, and the other. You cannot use the same strategies and the same mindsets and business strategy that you want to for 2020 VTubing in 2026. It's not going to work. And I feel like people don't understand that. You can't just, become a VTuber, make it super big, super fast. It doesn't work like that anymore. The big VTubers, especially the new big VTubers, one, already have connections. They have connections to bigger VTubers. That's how they grow in popularity that fast. Or two, there is the chance that you luck out and you get a viral tweet or a viral something or another, but that's only going to get you so far. Or you go down the right wing, you go into some type of grift. You go into a grift and that can do you well. And that's only if you go in the grift the correct way, because you could fuck up and end up like fucking what's his name's wife, where you're trying to argue that women have rights and your entire chat is going against you because of the grift that you did. Like, there are scenarios that you have to go down, but primarily, you're only going to grow and get that big audience super fast if you already have connections to people with big audiences. If you don't, you're not just blowing up soon. You can put out tweets, posts, short form, long form content every day, and unless you get picked up by the algorithm and you know how to work the algorithm, it's going to take time to get a significant amount of money back, especially if you've invested money to VTubing first. It doesn't work the way that people, I feel like, assume it would still work, going based off of how it was in 2020. Also, I'm behind because I was yapping. Hold on. ooh, like IDKC, oh, flex a little too hard. Like yeah, like why are you hanging on to exactly. Like why are you hanging on to their name so much? India's only work if the disclosure itself is legal. That's true. That is very true. I've broken two, legally broken two NDAs because of illegal acts. Ooh, okay. We're doing Golden Age is tied with COVID shutdowns. So yes, those are gone. Exactly. It is not the same. So we've been VTuber since 21, even back in the day before the agency controversy. I looked at corpos. This looks very similar to Machinima. Yes, that's the other thing. It's all the Machinima parallels. Yes, that people still don't see. People still don't know. Granted, a lot of people don't know about Machinima. A lot of people are unaware about that. I feel like genuinely, I want to make it like a required course for VTubers looking to go corpo or looking to be into a corporation or agency, whatever it is. You have to watch a video that covers what the entire timeline of Machinima. You have to watch that first, and then you can go try to be corpo. But you have to be aware of this first, because I genuinely feel like people just don't know about that happening, and so they don't see the signs that are very clearly there. I look like being a rarely streamer at this point, unless you're corporate. Exactly. 100%. Oh my gosh. OG English YouTubers were successful streamers prior to becoming anime girls. That too. That is another thing. If you were just already streaming and then just switched to VTubing, so you already had an audience. That's basically it though. You have to already have some type of audience or have the connections to gain an audience quickly for it to be like something very profitable in that way. If you don't have that, it's a lot of fucking work you gotta put in to even try to attain that. Yeah, it happened a long time ago, but it's still very necessary to know about. Exactly. That's so. Anyways, let me continue on with this. So, Seraph did post some screenshots from them. So back in April of 25, Kamane says working on some really big things for In1. Which Seraph says, honestly honored to be a part of that. Kamane says, I'll make it big. I always make everything big. Seraph says that I'm very grateful that you want to push me forward. So that was back in April of 25. And then it continues on with Kamane saying, I'm going to see if I can get my own IP to have a female VTuber host my event so it's easier to get agencies involved. Spin says, are we officially listed as an agency or is it in the works? And Kamane says, I don't want to call it an agency, but if we had to, it would be a management agency, so a bit different, and we would only have one VTuber that would work under it to be the host for all of the projects I create. They would collab a lot with our talents, though, for content. And then In1 will be an event hosting management agency. Gonna keep expanding it, but I'm in a bidding battle with who gets to work closely with In1, which, you know, hearing a bidding battle, that sounds very enticing. And they even say, I don't know how that shit works. Kamane says, companies want me to work for them, so I'm seeing what's the best offer before taking any. And continues off by saying, I've been doing this. The only difference is people are noticing, and now everyone wants a piece of the pie. Management is impressive on what we do, so just have to give you an idea of how much we support you guys more than those agencies. So really talking it up, genuinely hyping it up. For In1 to have fallen flat, and Sakurai, the agency before it, to also have fallen flat. Just a lot of talk with nothing really to back it up, it seems. Successful corporals and Nisher Idol or other companies that don't focus on only VTuber. Yeah. It's the reason we have short form content, Vine, TikTok, Instagram, Snaps. All stem from the foundation, but Machinima culturally built up and tore down in the 2000s and 2010s. Oh, true. I want to call it an agency. What is it? Good for covering a few things like connections here and there, but very few people get picked up. Yeah, like, to be honest, being so genuine. Oh, Gambit time, bet those channel points. You don't need to be corpo. You don't need to be corpo. Like, you can get a manager, and even like getting a manager, I feel like is for specific things. Like, I have technically what was the word that somebody used? I have technically a business liaison where I have somebody who goes out and talks to companies for me. Like, they say, hey, I have this talent. Do you want to work with us? They negotiate contract, and then I do the work. I have somebody that does that for me. And they're just doing it for the love of the game, which I very much appreciate them for that. They're a really awesome person. I know we joked last week. They're like, yeah, you should just talk shit about me on your stream, so nobody else wants to Nobody else wants to like work with me or whatever. I was like, I'm not gonna talk shit about you. You do great work. But that's what I have, and like that is just for that one specific thing. I still manage, and I'm still indie. I do everything myself. I fund everything myself. I just have somebody who can talk business better than I can, and like knows contract negotiation and rates better than I do. So they do that part. That's all that most of these niggas need. Y'all don't need an entire agency. Y'all don't need to be in a corporation. Y'all just need probably somebody to go get the like brand deals for you. That's it. I don't know. It seems like it's not necessary. Cost so much to keep up with. I tried, she was great, but I didn't make much money anyways. Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. And that's the other thing is like a lot of people just aren't at the level to need that. And if you do get to the level to need that, there are genuine management agencies like Ayers. Ayers is an actual management agency where they will take a cut of your pay, but they are going to like get you the actual like professional help that you need. But I don't know. It's such a mess. It's a, oh my god, Brock, hello, how's it going? Oh, good night, Chimera. Thanks for stopping by. So that's Sarah's second tweet. We get into wait. Oh, I went out of order. We get into socks. So we've now hit a second VTuber agency in this Luminara debacle. Socks VTuber agency, who is run by Flork of Cows. If you don't know, Flork was their own like personality, basically brand before they created Socks VTuber agency. It's literally this fucking sock thing. That's like Flork character. He makes like little comics or whatever, and he made a VTuber agency called Socks. Ever heard of AJB? Well, you about to learn why you need a contract with her right now. And so one thing that was talked about, because yeah, it's a sock. They've hit a second agency. Yes. Oh my gosh, Mr. President, a second agency has been hit. Oh yeah, that's the other thing is, yeah, everybody wants to join Socks now that Zentrey is in it, but a discussion for another time. So Fork does quote tweet this saying, since SVA was mentioned, I want to clarify on the side, we never talked to Luminara except sponsoring a small amount for Corey's concert last year. Besides that, we have never had any connections, talks, or anything with Luminara. Our talents participated in a meet and greet under Luminara where we learned it was Luminara hosting said meet and greet. I don't know Cam, so if he did say this to anyone, that was false. Our one time and contact was a very awkward business pinch he made to me at Offkai last year. He says to LDR, if they're telling people they knew me/SVA, they did not. So Flork comes out saying Socks is not involved with this. That was not something that he knew about. Oh, let me coin flip. Also, if you don't know what we're talking about, check the pin message. Heads, it's heads again. Heads gets 21.4K. Oh, excuse me. And so this was Flork's first tweet, because he does reply to this. He says, finding out now he used my name a lot, apparently. Shame on you. I never knew you. And this was tweeted out at like 12:30, right? A little bit later, 1 o'clock, 30 minutes later, Flork comes back, tweets out again. He says, wow, okay, I guess Cam used my name way more than I thought. DMs coming in. 1, if Cam used SVA/me to sweeten any deals, I never even shared a server with the fucking guy. 2, we never had anything planned. Not even a thought of it occurred. I think I talked with an editor one time who may have worked with Luminara because we crossed paths from Voop chat. 3, the only people associated with me is my personal assistant and my direct talent managers. If anyone, any freelance managers, I see you. Any companies say they have a connection with me and are using this as a way to make a deal, get your business or anything. It is bullshit. And then he says you can directly verify a connection to SVA/me by emailing the bizdev at Socks Agency and inquiring, and we will tell you if we are affiliated or not. Do not let someone leverage names. Always ask and verify. Which is what I was kind of saying too, is like, I feel like you should have asked, like, if he's flexing these names, I feel like you could go to these people, send an email. Especially if he's flexing big names, a lot of the big names have an email address. They have a business email that they take inquiries at. if you don't have the ability to like either comment under their post, send them a DM, anything like that, fucking email them and ask like, hey, you know, I got this opportunity, but they were flexing your name and I just wanted to know if you were aware of this or not. It's not that hard. Also, hi, Jonte, welcome in. So that's what Flork is saying here, that like, don't let, like, ask. Literally ask this nigga if it is the case or not. I totally know Markiplier, you should sign up with my company, Shady Shit Incorporated. Yes! Yes! There's due diligence that is required for these kinds of things. Exactly that. Exactly that. And so, that is the issue with Luminara and SVA / Flork of Cows, right? We get into other big VTubers. Because next up, Vexoria was involved in this. Vex posted, she said, hey all, neither Zolan, which is her husband, or I were ever friends, partners, business partners, or otherwise with Kamana or Luminara. If he told you otherwise, he was lying. We were never associated with Luminara at any point. Zolan has been getting DMs about Kamana using my name to influence friends and add credibility to Luminara / himself by stating we were friends, business partners, or resources. We had one meeting back when Luminara just started as outlined by Zolan's post, which is the post I'm going to read next. I told Kamana no to his face after being pressed about joining Luminara, which seemed to surprise him, and I do not think he was prepared for our business questions. After that meeting, we never spoke again. I am so genuinely sorry to the people who this affects. I'm sorry he used our names to manipulate others and try to increase his credibility to unsuspecting creators and artists. I hope everyone that was affected by this can move on to greater things. Your worth is not defined by what an agency says they can do for you. Oh yeah, we're talking about Luminara stuff. One of my day ones was on Luminara and got fucked. Ooh, damn, that sucks. The way I got so scared for a second. No, listen, I'll warn you now, or I'll say it now. Everybody who I end up talking about in this, the only bad person in this is Kamana / Luminara. Everybody else, any name that's brought up, any agency, any other large VTuber, any of that is going to be most likely like a victim in this situation of either their name being used by Kamana or them being in Luminara and getting fucked over. That really sucks for yes. My uncle is the CEO of Minecraft. It can get you a ton of money, so sign this NDA. Wasn't he banned from I'm gonna get to that, Segi. I'm gonna get to that. I'm not there yet. No spoilers. So, that is Vex's post, right? Zolan's post, which she did refer to in hers, says, I've been quietly watching this one with concern for a while, but I'm very unsurprised at the outcome. Last year, when this was all getting started, Vex and I were approached to meet in person to discuss Luminara. Genuinely, we were curious about it and wanted to learn more, but given how vague a lot of the posts by the organization were, we had no idea what Luminara was actually offering. The meeting in person was friendly enough. Kamana seemed like a nice dude with some genuine dreams at the time to run some sort of organization. But we've also seen genuine people lead to absolute disaster in indie management firms if they don't really understand what they're getting into. And so Vex, in her infinite wisdom, slipped in probing questions to figure out what the heck they actually offered. By the end of the meeting, neither of us understood. They wanted to put on events, they wanted to provide YouTube editing, but they had no intention of taking any form of payment from their clients. Remember how I talked about this earlier? I said keep this in mind. When we asked how they were going to pay for their editors, they just said that everyone would be paid and they had investors. One of the investors, right away, we'd had issues with in the past, so that was a large red flag in itself. Red flag 2 was having absolutely no plan to sustain the organization, no matter what questions we asked. All the money was coming from investors and basically having talents host events, which I assume the hope there was to attract sponsors to help fund the costs of. Red flag 3 was Kamana continuing to bring up his connection to Zentreya and also bragging about how he'd signed multiple talents that weekend. It was very look who I know heavy and immediately flagged to Vex and I as leaning on someone's name, probably without their knowledge to gain influence on others. Remember how we were saying this earlier? Remember how we were saying all of this earlier? Halfway through the meeting, where we still had absolutely no idea how their organization would function, Vex was asked if she was interested in joining. So what do you think? Do you want in? Or something like that. We were so shocked. Vex had to do a double take and ask for clarification that we were indeed being asked to join the spot, or being asked on the spot to join. She politely declined, and she said she needed to see contracts and understand more about how the organization would work before we could proceed in either direction. We could tell immediately the conversation turned after we declined and became more about pleasantries, which was fine. It transitioned into being a comfy convo and a walk back to the convention in the end. They didn't seem like bad people at all, just very misguided in how any form of management organization should run. But we later found out through other friends that they had also been approached and had been sent contacts online and then pressed about joining IRL before anything could be reviewed or discussed. People we had been told had been signed had not in fact been signed, and a few other tales of behavior in uncomfortable situations, actions taken at others' expenses that I'm not at liberty to discuss, ultimately left us with a very sour taste in our mouth. In my experience, organizations without this kind of plan, but with ideals to run merch, run events, and promise the world to their talents, are often set up for disaster when it comes to paying contractors or when an investor realizes they're not going to make any money off of this venture. Once the well dries up, money gets stolen from others until nothing's left, or talent begin to talk and everything falls apart. When that happens, talents are typically isolated from each other to prevent said talking. Threats about career damage or legal action loom overhead, or the owner up and vanishes without a word to protect themselves. Legally speaking, it's often prohibitively costly to get those amounts of money back, so when they run, they often get away with it. I feel like at this rate, I even joined Luminara just for the amount of people in the CEO. Bro, yes, like, that nigga, you know, hey, who's your Oshi? Glasses, yeah, Glasses is in this. Who's your Oshi? Palmetto Master? Yeah, we have Palmetto Master. Who, you say, your Oshi's Yay J-Bay? Never heard of that bitch, but she's in this. Yeah, we have, everybody's in Luminara. I genuinely feel like that's like how this nigga was probably moving. Yeah. You said, you like Segi VA? Yeah. We have that. We have Segi. Yeah, we got that one. Never been close to this, but I'm a part of it. Oh yeah, we're all a part of it. We're every single person, every single fucking VTuber is a part of this at this point. Oh my gosh, can't believe the nigga was talking to me like that during the meeting. Yeah, no, genuinely. Segi, the number one new Luminara talent. Yeah, Iron Mouse. Of course, we have Iron Mouse signed to Luminara. So you ready to join? So you're ready to join right now? Where you're gonna be in it. I'm gonna go ahead and say that you're in it to other people now. Hey, like, I feel like that's what happened. So they say we absolutely did not want to be party to that kind of fallout, so we declined and moved on with our lives while watching the organization quietly and hoping for the different end. So this outcome ultimately doesn't surprise me at all. It sucks seeing people hurt. I hope everyone can land on their feet, but I want to express two important relevant things that I've learned from my time in the industry and on this planet. One, management organizations are incredibly difficult to sustain. Be very careful and really study an organization's track record before you consider joining. And two, if something seems too good to be true, such as someone offering you free management services, it absolutely is. Do not trust this. Do not engage. Wishing nothing but the best for everyone moving on from this phase of their journey. So this was Zolan's post. This is Vexoria's husband / manager, who posted this. He's in Luminara. She's in Luminara. I'm in Luminara. Are there any other Luminara talents I need to know about? Quite literally. So that was the Vexoria Zolan post that came from this debacle. We get into another larger VTuber, August Anomaly. I don't know if y'all have heard of her. I didn't know about her until this shit happened, and I found out that she existed. But she says, I was also approached with an offer to join Luminara during its initial stages in mid-2025. Which, by the way, again, Luminara only lasted like a year, I think. Like, it was really formed at like the mid/end of 2025. It exploded, a couple days ago. August is cool. Oh, okay, we know August. Oh, shit. I didn't know August. My bad. We got Vex and August. Was I meant to apply to this agency? Oh, true. All of this in a year. Yes, in a year. So, August continues saying, originally I reached out to Kamano with interest in his idea of a special events hosting as I wanted to be more involved with the community. After meeting, he let me know he didn't think I'd be a good fit for that role, and that was that. But about a month later, we briefly met at Offkai in a public setting, just saying hi, no business. And in a week after that, he contacted me again, asking to chat over a Discord call. Also, yeah, the VTubing space is so big. I don't know people. Hey, Aliora, how's it going? How's it going? I realize, does this work? Wait. Tomato Master. Yeah, there we go. I had to give Palm VIP. She was in here earlier, and I realized I didn't give her that. Oh, there's a bug. Blowing up after Ricky uploaded his VShojo audition, and then he became the first talent signed to Luminara. Yep. Which I didn't look. Ricky probably has some post out there. I should find it. They're speedrunning these VTuber agencies. Oh, dog, it's bad. So, August continues to say, I felt a little dubious at first, firstly due to the abrupt request, and secondly because around that time I had read about ongoing issues regarding his attempts to recruit other talents, but decided to hear him out. During this call, he point blank offered me a spot in Luminara. When I asked him why he was suddenly changing his mind, he told me something along the lines of Luminara benefiting from my good reputation. That was a red flag to me, as it came off as me being sought out solely to help them grow instead of establishing a mutually beneficial relationship. Which is correct. She's right on with this. And I still didn't get a clear reason for him suddenly wanting to recruit me, as it didn't grow significantly since our last initial meeting or anything like that. And then during this call, I asked about how he was going to financially sustain his idea, what his long-term goals for Luminara were, and how the talents would benefit. I don't think I got any clear answers. As others have already said, they had initial investors, but that was about as far as concrete financial plans were laid, in my opinion. I don't even think he fully explained to me what he wanted Luminara to be. My memory of details are beyond fuzzy by this. It was a year ago, but I ended up declining his offer. To the affected talents, I'm so sorry this happened. Please don't feel defeated and keep pushing on. I'm not sure what's going to happen going forward, but I wish the best. Now, I'll be honest. I'll be so honest. By the amount of people talking about, oh, I was approached for this, this happened, this, that, and the other, I genuinely feel like somebody could have, even if you don't call it out, somebody could have subtweeted something talking about, if you're looking to join a corporation, make sure you get a contract. Make sure you read the contract through. Literally just a vague post, a vague tweet if you don't want to say names and get into the blacklisting territory. Anything mentioned next, we're going to get to her. And literally some type of vague tweet could have been made to where people could be like, oh, what is this about? Oh, what are, Vexoria is saying, make sure you read contracts. I'm about to join Luminara, and let me make sure I read a contract. Again, just plant that seed in somebody's head so they fucking think. Probably in fear that they'd end up like Bao whenever she tries to bring up something up. Yeah, that is an unfortunate thing there. That is a very... Even vague ain't enough because of the internet. I don't know. I feel like something should have happened. Features are offering shit to everyone who's popular, and no one said anything. It's just money hung. Yeah, like it's honestly, I feel like it's like the same situation of like, why would Astro, good night, thanks for stopping by. Like VShojo talking about signing on those talents when all of the like bitches in VShojo are actively not getting paid, but you're gonna like sit here and watch them sign on people that are also not going to get paid. Like, I don't know. Oh, Velox, hello. Personally, I would try to help somebody out. I would try to help people out. And thank you for the 3 stream streak, Velox. I'm somebody, if I see something, I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna talk about it. I'm gonna say, hey, maybe, keep this on the DL, but be wary of this. Like, this is my experience, but I just want you to be aware. Just something. Jesus Christ. But that was August's post. So we now get into, speaking of, one of the girls who was supposed to be signed on to VShojo. Airports must love you. You see something, you say something. Oh my gosh. Yeah, like I still think that's a little fishy. Pia, who was one of the girls who was supposed to be signed on to VShojo, ended up making their own group with the other, people who were supposed to sign on to VShojo and called Beasties. She just tweeted out, she said, fun fact, Luminara pretended I was a signed talent to get money from investors. I feel bad for anyone who got fleeced. She said, after I find out, I warned others and tried to get legal help, but between this scam and VShojo's implosion, it was a very intense summer of 2025, which at least she says she tried to do something, but obviously between this and VShojo, because she was in the middle of that, she could only do so much. This is like the first person that I'm like, thank you for at least attempting. Thank you for at least making some type of attempt to try to help other people. Because everybody else is like, yeah, I saw all the red flags and I just got my pushing. It sucks to suck for the rest of you niggas. Like, I don't know. It rubs me wrong. It rubs me wrong. I feel some type of way about it. I really do. Like, again, I understand, you know, the fear of blackballing, the fear of, you know, being seen as a troublemaker, all this, that, and the other. But like, if you already have an audience and you have a big audience in yourself, you don't have to worry. You wouldn't have to worry about the repercussions of that when you know. And like, you, I don't know. Yeah, I grew up with most of the OGs already made music before. I don't know. But that was PS Post. We get into Kuromiya, who, you know, we're starting to get into more tangentially related people, not fully like into it or anything. Cause she says, I only had a handful of interactions with the owner of Luminara asking me to discuss, air quotes, promoting the company without actually joining. I got to see a list of the people they wanted. I got told I was in their top 20 to ask, but did not make the cut while on call. This left me sour and it still icks me to have been talked to in this way in a professional setting. Despite this, I extended an invite to an event to the talents, but nothing was ever followed through. I do wish the former talents all the best and have no ill will against Luminara. This just never sat right with me on a personal level. So Aaron got more personal grievances here, but just another tweet to go with it. Now we get into, remember whenever I told y'all for those who are unaware, Kamana, CEO of Luminara, was Zentreya's former YouTube manager. We're going to get into that. Barefoot here says, hey there, Zentreya's manager here. I just want to clarify that we parted ways with Cam back in July 17th of 2025. Zin was approached by multiple VTubers who were not connected to each other, claiming that Kamana was using Zin's name to garner more clients and business partners. Several stated Cam was speaking with them in a very arrogant and unprofessional manners, including making multiple people uncomfortable, even going as far as to approach them in person at conventions to speak to and pitch to them in this way. As soon as Zentreya was alerted to the situation, she immediately confronted Kamana, upset over the allegations, expressing her anger and disappointment at the usage of her name in this way and the way Cam approached other VTubers to the point that they were incredibly uncomfortable. Kamana has also spoken with me privately about talents he claimed were signed to Luminara that confirmed with Zin that they had not signed at all. A few claims even went so far as to state Kamana said he was managing Zentreya and had an influence in her leaving VShojo, which are completely false and very bold, as he was meeting weekly with myself and her other manager. Upon confronting him, she immediately terminated business with him going forward. We sincerely apologize if Zentreya's name was a factor in any decision someone made to enter into business relationships with Kamana. So we get into the first part of him using Zentreya's name to, you know, push himself further and get these connections and lying about who's actually signed to Luminara. And again, this is Zentreya's actual manager. All Kamana was her YouTube manager. Just want to put that out there. But, you know, maybe it's not enough to hear from the manager. So, we hear from Zentreya herself. She says here, I'm so fucking heartbroken. I feel partially responsible for so many people getting hurt by these events. We had just started a partnership and he was doing a fairly decent job at the time. No issues with anyone. Jump forward maybe a few months later, I learned through many good friends that my name was being used in a way to lure people in under a guise of false pretenses, and they had all backed off, which I apologized to them for his actions. I immediately confronted him and terminated him. I had no idea people were still joined even after I'd already parted ways with Kamana. To hear that people were still thrown in using my name and how he, air quotes, built me up. Yes, this statement was used. My manager had spoken to him and heard from others that Kamana would say that he built my channel and how he used my name consistently in all the conversations, even going as far as to approach them in person with promises and unprofessional verbiage. Hearing that so many people had been affected by this way is very, I didn't know he would then go on to fucking destroy an entire agency he built. He even wanted me to join, knowing I was furious with him. I even stated to him personally to keep my name out of any more future conversations. How do you go about using my name to destroy other futures, man? I remember I was so fucking mad, and at that point, I really didn't know what to believe or what to believe in anything he said anymore. He lied to me, to my manager, to many others. I was used and my name affected many others. And if I had known it had gotten this bad behind the scenes to the point where he still kept using my name, I would have said something. I'm sorry, and my heart goes out to those affected by this situation. And seeing everything else coming out makes my heart sink so much. Yo, Zendaya, yeah, no, this bitch is constantly in some shit. Well, she's in socks now, so that... I don't know what that's necessarily doing for her, but she's in socks now, so good, bright side of things, I guess. But that is actually hearing it from Zendaya herself. At least she's with cooler people. Remind me in the thing that I have to talk about. You know what? I want to be a little messy, but I'm not going to. I'm going to hold it in for now. I'll be messy later. I'm going to be messy later about some of the socks agency people. But regardless from that. So that's Zendaya's like post, right? Right? Fuck! Oh, Segi, you're going to be pissed about this one too. Oh. Listen, if you feel some type of way about some of the socks people, I'm going to piss you off. I'm going to piss you off with the information that I have. But again, that's for later. We're still in the Luminara stuff, right? We're getting close to the end here. Right? By close to the end, I mean like halfway through. I think we're on tab 22 out of 40, and we still have 2 Google Docs, by the way, so we'll see how far we get. I think a lot of the other tweets, or a lot of the later tweets, I think are a lot shorter, though. So this is just somebody else, Annabelle. I believe she would have spoken up sooner. She wrote if he showed her so. Yeah, no, she definitely wouldn't have. Segi needs the off meter. No, so this is just somebody else. Thank
you so much, Cool Game 17 for the $28.
Whoa! Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the dono. Holy shit, that's awesome. Thank you. I am greatly appreciative of the $28. Hell yeah! I was lurking. Thank you so much. Thank you for the dono. Thank you for lurking. Oh my god! Had to open my big black mouth. Oh, Shaky, I'm gonna piss you off. Unless you already know about this. You might know about it and might be fine with it after, but we'll see. Anyways, somebody else. So this person is quote tweeting Zendaya's manager, the tweet that she made, and says, he's being commanded, told me he took Zin's name off his bio to protect her from his haters. Gave me a list of people who were signed to Luminara. They were not. Name dropping big VTubers whenever he reached out wanting to work together, and also told me he'd fund my first concert. If you're serious, I'm serious. But when I got my manager involved, he suddenly didn't remember discussing that. I did believe a lot of the things Kamana told me, especially when I was a newer baby VTuber. I hope everyone who was promised things recovers from all of the disappointment. That's how I live my life. Yeah, no. I'm a little bit of a nosy bitch. I'm a little nosy. And so I'm aware of things, and I'm noticing things, and if I notice something that I'm going to talk about later, but we'll talk about it later. Cool Game, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you. And thank you again for the dono. So speaking of, because I was talking about Airs earlier, Airs is a specifically like business management like agency, if you will. Not in the sense of like how you probably view other VTuber agencies. Airs is like legit. And so Hazumi, who is with Airs, says, it always baffles me that Kamana briefly was contracted with Airs as an editor, pushed editing responsibility onto everyone else for months, and then got upset when he was addressed about being removed, only to go and start Luminara just a few months later. And then there was the amount of trash he talked about Airs, the staff, the talent, and the CEO because he wasn't invited to the RSVP only mixer that he never RSVP'd for in the first place, which we're going to talk about this later. Elwin, hello. Is it Elwin? Is that how I say your name? Welcome in, though. I hope you're doing well. I'm talking about drama right now. For those who don't know, Elwin, I met through the the Twitch partner Discord, and they're debuting, I think, like a week before me. They debuted June 13th. on that Saturday. So I'll be there for their debut. I'm just gonna be like watching. I'm not like in it or anything. We just met. But I love drama. I'm sad. Oh yeah, I'm talking about the Luminara stuff. So yes, another front page debut, if you will. Thank you for the shout out. Thank you for the shout out. Yes. And fellow vampire. So y'all know we gotta support. But back to this. Hazumi continues to say, I feared for a while that he was spreading rumors about heirs, trying to tell people lies to cloud their judgment into not giving us opportunities or, air quotes, warning people to stay away from anyone affiliated. After seeing some of the tweets on my timeline putting pieces together, it seems that this suspicion was in fact correct. I've always had a bad feeling about him. I'm glad things are finally coming to light. People like this should not continue receiving support or access to communities they have harmed. I'm genuinely so sorry to the people he hurt, including staff and talent. Hi Queens, welcome in. And so that's Zumi's. We get back into Alara because like I said, there was, oh, Kuro! Thank you for the tier 1, 6 months. Oh my goodness. Hope your stream is amazing and lovely as you are. Have a magical evening. Oh, good night, Kuro. Thank you for the sub. Thanks for stopping by. So remember whenever Siggy came in and talked about, hey, wasn't this nigga banned from MomoCon? We're getting back to that. I told y'all, remember MomoCon. Alara said, I've been given permission to share this information from an anonymous source. Kamana was banned from last weekend's MomoCon before the event even started, yet still attended despite knowing this. I know myself and others can confirm he was there in person. At some point during the weekend, this was noticed and he was escorted from the property by police. You saw that? Oh, you saw this nigga there. So, this is a post from Kamana, I believe in the Discord, in maybe the Luminara Discord. I know I'm slightly in the way of this. Let me scoot this over a little bit. He says, well, now we have a problem. And it says, hello, Kamana. My name is Chris, and I am co-chair of MomoCon. I have copied Kevin, who made the initial contact regarding your potential participation in MomoCon 2026. After internal review, MomoCon has made the decision that we are unable to move forward with your participation this year. Because of that decision, we are also unable to move forward with Luminara Legacy's scheduled participation in its current form. We are working to ensure that any affected talents still have the opportunity to participate in their scheduled meet and greets where possible. I understand this is close to the event, so we wanted to notify you as soon as the decision was finalized. I'm available to discuss any direct logistical impacts this creates. Please reply at your earliest convenience to confirm receipt. And he still attended. He was still there. Multiple people could verify the fact that he was still at the convention. And at some point, it was noticed he was there and should not have been, and was escorted from the property by police. And so she did give us an update that Kamana was allegedly banned from MomoCon for past misconduct. He had a prior court case years ago. Kamana then chose to tell his staff the real reason he was banned was because the lead organizers of MomoCon were upset that Luminara stole their idea for a Minecraft SMP. Are we actually serious? Which there are screenshots here of him saying, I called Chris because he did send his number in the last email. He explained to me the situation. As of right now, he said they may allow Luminara to stay, but he said to me, the owner, that is banned as of... He said, me as the owner is banned as of right now. He explained that it was rash because one of the lead organizers was pushing to have us removed. I have an idea of who it is too, since I was upset to see them take charge of the event a few days ago. So as of this moment, staff may handle the booth. We'll keep you guys updated. I like, you got banned because of Minecraft server? Yes, genuinely. That's what he says. And he says, it looks to be him replying. He says, no, they are using my past allegations as the reason. The actual reason they are mad at me is because of the SMP server. They just had a reason to scare people now. I sent Chris my proof. He said he will see it. And if it's true, what I'm saying, then they will unban me. Bird Scout, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. And he says, yes, unfortunately, it really is. They are mad at me because I stole their idea. What was the idea? A Minecraft SMP. It's genuinely what this nigga is trying to say he got banned for. You're telling me the head of a convention would ban your, and by association, your brand from a convention because y'all did a Minecraft SMP server. Should have got hit by that Yuji cause. You're so right. You're so right. You're so right. But yeah, so that is, whenever I told y'all to keep Momocon in mind, that was why. Because he was, now he did something. Well, back in the earlier, man, every 12-year-old and 30, back earlier, if we remember back from, for those who might have not been here, Charlotte had talked about how Kamana does have a victim, somebody who has apparently gotten a confession from him that he raped her, you know? So that, like, that's a, he has those allegations. Even with his situation with Charlotte, it was seen as he was very coercive and pushy and love bombing and lying to her. Like, it's been a whole thing. So this guy is just a walking red flag. Also, thank you for the Queen's Care package. Yeah, disgusting. It's disgusting. Now, we get into one of the longer tweets here, because this was Sellen's, which Pegasus Witch. She had tweeted, I've been holding back saying anything about this, but there was a lot of reasons I did not want to work with Cam or Luminara. When I first met Cam, it was when I was invited into a management group he started after I had a horrible experience with my previous manager and was dealing with a lot of mental stress and needed help. Which could have been either Sakurai or N1, as Smitten Seraph had brought up before that Kamana was involved with both of those things that ended up ending horribly. We're talking about Luminara stuff. That's to give y'all for anybody coming in. So he says, from the start, he boasted about connections and all he could do for me in VCs. He boasted about managing Zentreya and connections he had with larger streamers. I would ask a lot of questions, having been in the sphere for a while, and he was very good at changing subjects or dodging them, while also asking who I knew that might be interested in his managing services. My mods then messaged me telling me to be careful because he used to be in a certain gaming scene and there were allegations about him for different things, so I was cautious. See, somebody warning somebody else! That's all I'm talking about, is somebody else giving some type of warning. Seeing you're talking to this person and be like, hey, just a heads up, be aware of this. That, I want more people to have done that. That's all yes, dumb mods, exactly. If the village just villaged. But she continues by saying, after not being in the management Discord for a month, I was sent a DM by another talent on New Year's Eve telling me that Cam was not a good dude, and then sent me a document that had a lot of allegations as well as private videos of Cam admitting to some of the claims. Thank you! People talking! If your partner keeps pushing to get sex, it's not considered surrender. Yes, it's coercion. It is coercion. When I confronted him, he told me he beat those and apologized, but continued to dance around subjects. After this, the Discord basically went untouched and a lot of people were left with little info or answers. I was still owed different things like edits and etc., but I counted it as a loss. Later, I found out he was starting Luminara, and I was a little surprised to see it, but messaged him curious about what this was because so much of the wording was vague as fuck. He left me on red and didn't reply back to my DM until after he liked the post about me saying a friend had died and I was not okay. I was not okay with that. I have heard multiple stories of how he would use people's names and connections to basically con or lie to people about opportunities. I held my tongue because many things I was told in private, but please be aware he does this. He likes to make people feel seen or special, but it all gets close, but it's all to get close to people for a reason. I hate that so many people were hurt and or used by him. I'm hoping that everyone will be okay and he doesn't do things like this anymore. Again, just another person, and like, you were warned. I understand, like, the things that you were told, right, were like done in private, but you can at least give warning to other people as well. Was in the shadow the entire time? Welcome in. Well, I mean, if you're in the shadows, you were already here, but hello, I guess. This is what I'm looking for. Now, we're about to get to another big section, if you will. We have a couple other like tweets of, you know, people talking about their experiences, this, that, and the other, kind of Kamana Luminara adjacent, not actual talents, right? like Eggy Weggy here, she says, I have my own stories with Cam and Luminara, but I honestly have no interest in dredging up old runes and going through all of it. What I miss, Akari, there's been a lot, I'm not gonna lie, and we are like halfway through it. We still have I forgot to tell y'all, there's a YouTube video we have to watch, along with the 2 Google Docs associated to this, and a myriad of tweets. So buckle up. If you aren't already buckled, I know people have been sat and just listening. But Eggy says here, all I can say is, Cam, you know what you did. You're a manipulator and a user, and all you want is clout and growth for yourself on other people's heels. If you want the clout so bad, fucking earn it. Don't force staff into emergency meetings at 7 a.m. only to say, man, I have no idea why Zin wants to fire me. I've been doing everything perfectly. You know why? Because you're playing scummy businessman in an industry that was built on creativity and cooperation. I do not believe this man had good intentions for anyone but himself, and I left in one at the beginning of 2025 for that reason. You lied to me, to all of us. You played stupid games. Now claim your stupid prize. To the Townsend staff, I'm sorry for everything. If you need help finding staff to fuel your projects, DMs are open. So another person involved with the previous talent like agency or management company, if you will, that Kamana was a part of being in one. Called for a meeting for Vent chat post. Yes. I'd throw a rock. I'd be so pissed. I'd be so pissed. You wake me up at 7 a.m. just for you to fucking complain about being fired? Fuck around and find out territory? Oh yeah. Now, another big name, Freem, for those who don't know, Freem was Freem a part of V Shoujo? I think Freem was like adjacent to V Shoujo. I don't fully remember. But Freem is another big name. Gamer subs person. She's got the little gamer subs thing. That's how you know she's a big name. She had responded to Alara's thing saying, I usually stay in my own lane, but I remember my first time talking to Kamana. He didn't know who I was at first, so I asked him what Luminara was about. He explained with a lot of fluff and bringing up large names in the space. I was like, gee, that sounds super fun. How are you going to make it profitable? He literally refused to answer. So I followed up with, oh, I'm Freem, by the way. You know, the production VTuber that has helped with a ton of large names on the back end. He then walked away. Freem was a VTuber. That's what I thought. I couldn't like fully remember. So Freem even pressed the nigga. He just walked away from the fact that he could not answer her questions as somebody who does help with the production of like large names on the back end. So again, another person who saw the red flags, another person well aware that this was going to be a shit show. And now a name y'all might remember. Some of you might remember. Do y'all remember the Saikuno situation? Himomo? We're back with more tweets from Himomo. The girl who made the first, like, doc airing out Saikuno in all of his scenario. No, not her! Well, she made a tweet saying, I think it's necessary for me to make this statement after I've spoken to people and seen the allegations that have come out regarding Luminara CEO Kamana. I've been friends with Cam since beginning this year. He originally reached out to me through one of my friends. At the time, I thought it was cool since I always wanted to make friends. Later on, Cam ended up confiding in me about some private relationship stuff, which I never mind supporting my friends through things, so I had no issue with that. However, after these relationships-related issues, he quickly moved on to being interested in me. After a while, we both realized we weren't compatible and grew into being proper friends. It's been public knowledge that me and Cam were going to attend Offkai Expo together. I was only able to attend due to the fact that Kamana helped pay for my plane ticket to the US, since I couldn't do to me taking care of my dad's medical bills. I was beyond grateful, since I honestly was anticipating not attending this year. After some long discussing with friends who were associated with him and after reading statements that have come out, I feel it is appropriate for me to say I will no longer be associated with Cam out of personal comfortability. Thank you, Luminara staff, who have always been welcoming, and the time we've spent together, to the people I met through Luminara all the way. You have all been so welcoming. I hope to see you guys around. Basically, yada yada. Oh, Kalamo, hello. Gives thumbs up, Orange Cassidy style. Oh hell yeah! Welcome in. Thank you for the follow. Motherfuckers probably geeked to post this. Dog, just being a part of it, just genuinely being a part of it. But, you know, if it was well known, obviously, I don't know shit about the bitch, but she said it was well known that they were like good friends or whatever. The fact that she was going to be going to Off Guy because he was paying for her to go, it's More people were happy to speak after the damage had been done. This could have been prevented. Yeah, oh my god. So much so I can't stress this enough that this could have very much been prevented. This could have very, very, very much been prevented. But the people are just too afraid. Like, and again, I understand the fear. I really do. I understand the fear of blackballing. I understand the fear of being on the bad side of bigger VTubers and whatnot. But at the same time, me personally, y'all know how I am. I've made enemies of people 100 times my size. I've made enemies of plenty of people. I'm blocked by Zentreya. I am not afraid to speak my mind. And if I lose the connection, it is what it is. I'm still going to do my own thing. And I feel like more people should stand 10 toes down on business whenever it comes to these kinds of things. Don't be afraid to speak out. Simply put, I don't. Zen blocked me. Oh yeah. Zentreya's had me blocked. Whenever her whole outfit thing, I put my 2 cents out there. She blocked me. I'm glad she did. I think again, I've talked about it before. She should have blocked all of the people that she did not agree with, instead of responding to them negatively and getting them fucking mobbed by her cult fan base. Because most large VTubers have cult fan bases, to be honest. I will say, obviously, I'm not near the size of that. I'm not in like fucking quadruple digits average viewership. Your bitch barely pushes triple digits. But I really hope to never have a cult following. I stress it so much how I never want y'all to just follow what I do because I say it. Like, go out and form your own opinions. I don't want to have a cult following. I don't want to ever have these people that would go just do whatever I say because I said it and not think for themselves. It's just, yeah, like, be an individual, please. And that's why I love my community. While it might not be the biggest in the world, I'm very appreciative of each and every person here because y'all are individuals. Y'all understood coldly. There's no way. Y'all can think for yourselves. Y'all can hear the things that I'm saying. And a lot of times you do agree with me, but you can also either disagree with me or go out and be like, oh, I want to learn more about this. I can form my own opinion on it. Like, I can't stress how much I appreciate y'all not just being a cult. I really do. I really appreciate it. But cult mentality won't make you any money. Yeah, no, that's exactly. I would love to make VTubing a career, but at the same time, I'm just not going to do certain things that, guarantee the career, if you will. I'm not going to go down those paths. This ain't a cult. Shoot, let me cancel my robe order. It's okay. It becomes a cult when I debut the Jester. That's when we go into the cult stuff. Nah, yo. Actually, you getting smacked by me if this ever becomes a cult chat. Yes. I want to do streaming content stuff, but always having an audience is scary. No, like, again, I'm very much like, I've pissed off a lot of people. When I tell y'all I've pissed off a lot of people, I've pissed off a lot of people. Like a fuck ton of people. I don't care. I don't care because I'm just going to block you. And I don't care if I lose out on an opportunity. I'll never be able to collab with Zentreya because she has me blocked. I'll never be able to, have the connection with this big VTuber because they have me blocked. Whoever it is. I don't care. I'm going to do my own thing. Genuinely. I'm just going to keep it pushing. I have my friends. I have my community. People who get to know me know who I am. You don't even really have to get to know me. I feel like it's pretty obvious how I am based off of all the content that I put out, because the content I put out is literally just me being me. It's me either having silly fun in a game or me yapping about a certain topic, but like, that's just who I am. And the people that like it. They're here. They're in my community. They hang out. We have a great time. If you don't, fuck off. I don't care. I genuinely don't care. And I don't feel like I should have to, let me make sure I don't say this because I might piss off this person. I would hate to piss off Iron Mouse, because if I piss off Iron Mouse, it fucking sucks, I guess. I would hate to piss off Iron Mouse, but if she blocks me too, I'm gonna continue to do my own thing because I am my own person. I don't have to be relying on these people and hoping to get these opportunities. I don't watch big VTubers anyways. Most of these people I don't know or don't care about. It'd be cool to be friends with them because some of them seem like cool people. I'd love to be friends with Iron Mouse. I also wouldn't be torn up if something happened. If I put out a tweet and Iron Mouse is like, man, this YJ baby bitch fucking sucks. Let me block her. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. And oh my God, I wish other people would feel the same way. So like, you are more open to talking about whenever somebody is being a piece of shit. You're more open to talk about shitty people. I would see these like red flags from this person and be like, hey, I think this person's a red flag. Yeah, like these niggas are not paying my bills. At the end of the day, like streaming does not pay my bills at the end of the day. I don't make enough for it to do that. Technically it pays like one of my bills, but I'm just gonna keep doing me. Also, hi Chise. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Can we get a shout out for Chise Ichikawa, please? For like 1 in 3 streams and you find out everything you need to know about Jay. Yeah, honestly, I feel like one stream. If you're here for 1 hour, unless, I mean, maybe not this hour just because I'm yapping a bunch and like I'm doing a lot of reading because I'm reading these other tweets. But outside of that, you tried your best. Outside of that, like, it's very clear like who I am. And if you don't like me, okay, block me. Don't interact with me. Or let me, Vex, this nigga's struggling. Hold on, let me get this shout out. Oh my God. Oh, you crack me up. You crack me up. Are you putting 2 spaces? Is that what's happening? Yeah, there we go. A whole bunch of indie VTubers. I started with VShojo and turned off. Got sucked into Hololive. Don't get me started on the Hololive cover. And really got into more VTubing or watching more indie folks. Yeah. Oh, it isn't you. No, I think you were putting 2 spaces. I think that was the issue. It looked like you had 2 spaces. I found you because I was looking for black VTubers in space, and you most of all, y'all are underrated as fuck. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I'll be honest. I think so. Listen, if I was doing this same shit, I've said it before. If I was like a VTuber, but just was not like visibly black with my model or visibly furry, like if I did the same shit of yapping and gaming with a white model, when I tell y'all, I would be so fucking popular. So genuinely I would. But I would rather just be my true authentic self and be able to express myself authentically than do that. But that's just me. My VTubers are my biggest like happy thing right now. Oh, thanks sheep. Welcome back, cartoon. Welcome back. So yeah, that was Momos. No, I'm not. We're not bringing her back. We do have a third. Technically, this isn't an agency. Kuro Mindset, sort of only white pissing models who talk like kids. Like, yeah, no, like I'm just that shit. That shit. Anyways, back to this. We have another organization that's hit. So VSMP, which is the Essen, like they host a bunch of different like survival multiplayer like things, whether it be Minecraft, whether it be Rust, whether it be, you know, I think they have like a GTA Online thing going on. But the VSMP community made a tweet about Luminara. Been finding myself enjoyed by VTubers more since they are more than genuine streamer. Yeah. I know we have another org who has hit the towers. Oh, they use wise models if you're not willing to come out. Yeah. I mean, I guess it's a to each their own. I have my thoughts on that. But let me read some more tweets. We got hella tweets to go through still. And I need to get to the video. I'm still debating if I want to release my interactions with it because we were close. I mean, everybody and their grandma talking about. Well, granted, everybody and their grandma was talking about it on that day. So I don't know if it might be seen as like digging up old shit. I don't know if people are still tweeting about this, but it would just be another tweet for the pile. Struggling to find someone to draw. Yeah, like I understand, Kinji. I also Vex was angered by this in the distance. To be honest, yeah, but at the same time, granted, he does have that other account. I don't know if he still uses his other VTuber, like Young Buffalo Sauce, I think was the name of it, where that was like a actual like darker skinned model, but he does. Oh, okay, well that like I understand the not having the opportunity then, but you do have it now. Streams like usually when he ends stream on main. Oh, listen, I don't watch Kenji. I don't watch his content. I see his clips. The nigga's funny. I will give him that. But I don't really watch him. I don't really like. Again, I don't watch bigger VTubers. I really don't. I just watch my friends. Those are the only VTubers that I'm watching. So I'm not. I don't keep up with like what they are doing. That's why. Honestly, that's why I'm not pressed if like I get blocked by any big VTuber. I didn't know you. If I did know you or at least knew your name, this doesn't impact me in any way. You were not my Oshi. I did not watch your streams. It is what it is. But anyways, so VSMP here posts, they say, we are not associated with Luminara in any way. Previously, after interviewing our founder about our Rust servers, Cam attempted to recreate what we do at VSMP. He admitted that he took the idea during a meeting, which was recorded with consent. After realizing he could not provide the experience or safety promised to the talents, he reached out for the sake of the talents involved. In exchange for doing all the back-end work, we were promised that we would be fully credited and allowed to bring some of our talents into the server. We were not credited correctly, and the event is currently still on the website without us being mentioned. We ended up running back in, creating and running all of the events, etc. Luminara staff created the graphics and then never helped again, leaving us to do everything. We had to create completely custom-coded plugins and drop everything to create this in less than a week to fulfill the promises he made. The talent spots were promised and only partially filled. He also refused almost all talents we brought in because they weren't big enough names for him. Cam would DM our players asking them to play the game worse or to stop playing altogether so the other bigger name players would look good. A staff member made racist comments in the game, in-game chat while players were streaming, and after reporting it to them, they did nothing. And that's only a couple of examples. And then went on to slander us in his Discord with staff members saying horrible things. He also offered to do similar events to others since claiming that they created it all. VSMP has and always will be about bringing people together to create amazing large server experiences in a safe environment despite their name or size. That guy sucks. Definitely a lot of he said, she said, unless it's recorded. But they do say that they have like at least the recording with consent there. And there are probably people that can verify or back up these claims because they were involved in it. Like, you know, somebody saying something racist in the in-game chat. Gonna talk about pro-Palestinian transforming far left his ass anyway. Yeah, that's the thing, is like I'm very openly like talking about, you know, I've talked about all the time trans rights are human rights. I've talked about free Palestine. I've talked, like, I'm very left-leaning. I've talked about all of these things. None of these bitches are ever going to talk about these things. I don't watch them. Why would I care if they block me? I think it's funny. I'll laugh at the fact that they blocked me. I laugh at the fact that Centrea blocked me. If anything, like I said, I'm glad she blocked me because I feel like she should have done that to all of the people who she did not like the things that they were saying, instead of responding to them and having her cult following sicked on them. It's not that hard. I block people I don't like all the time. When all those racist pedophiles were coming at me, I blocked every single one. They still come at me to this day, and I still blocked them. I have one nigga who's made like 4 accounts, and every time he comments something to harass me, I just block him again. If you just make more accounts, I'm just going to continually block your accounts. That's all that happens. You're not gonna piss me off on my internet, no. Things I admire about you because you're so unapologetically you. Yeah, no, like this is just who I am. Simply put, it really is. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'll bonk them all. It's so refreshing to have someone who'll stand on shit for what they believe in. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I'll stand 10 toes down on it. I think a lot of shit is weird. I think a lot of these bigger creators need to be calling this shit out. Yeah, what a weirdo. Like, I'm gonna protect my peace. Exactly. But anyways, back to these. Apollo Rise, who is a part of Mythos, so one of the agencies that way before then, or before all of this happened, Mythos had talked about how they were cutting ties with Luminara. So I'd say like they were the like first sign of some shit was about to happen, but people just didn't know it yet. All Apollo said was, my personal stuff with Kamana is very up there. He took something from me that I can never get back. I'll just keep it to that and end it there. Stay strong as always, and I'm here for anyone, to all ex-talents and staffs too. Now, I don't know what happened between the two of them. I don't know if maybe Apollo was the victim in like the, you know, situation beforehand. but she made her shit short and sweet, and honestly, I appreciate that. Oh my gosh. I wish bigger VTubers did call out stuff. Oh, me too. If I get blocked for saying I believe in human rights and tell me I would hate them anyway. Yeah, exactly. 70 alternative accounts just to continue getting the L. Can you, yeah. And like, the fact that you're making so many alternate accounts just to like try to harass me, you really have nothing else better going on in your life? That like, you're just saying that you're a fucking loser. People are like, yo, Zig calling people still fixated, and she deadass is telling people, yes. Being afraid to talk and hold a damn stance on politics, the fin-setting refusal to acknowledge it can be infuriating. Yes, very much so. Almost, yeah, that's the facts. I was thinking the same thing from like what Apollo's saying here. Another VTuber agency collapsing on itself due to exploitative management and terrible people. Grass really do be green. Yeah. No, I don't have anything better going on in my life right now, Jay. Thanks for reminding me. Doodles, you know damn well I'm not talking about you. Hi, Izzy, welcome in. Imagine needing multiple accounts just to stand a chance against my one. Like, I don't get it. I'm going to talk about that, Nova. I'm going to talk about that. We're not there yet. So this was in response to Flick of Cows, quote tweet, but Kyle says that I'm crying, bro. Kim was a fraud the whole time, and I clocked that shit from the start, despite so many people swearing up and down to me that he was some genuine smart guy. In reality, he's a little man with crippling need for validation and attention. He will stop at nothing to fill that void, so much so that he's learned how to manipulate unsuspecting women and business partners to do his bidding. He's a freak, and thank God the world is finally learning. Please note that there is also so much more behind the scenes that you probably won't hear about today. It gets worse. So I don't know if other tweets will come out. Hey, Mara, welcome in. I don't know if other tweets are going to come out from this because he's saying it's getting worse, but yeah, I wish I would say things. I really wish I would say things. I really wish I would say things. Ooh, look what they need to be a fraction of our power. Bigger tweet here, because again, so many people were involved with this. From Sin says, I used to be heavily connected with Kamaro back when I was Yuva, and if anyone was wondering, that's the real reason why I rebranded. He told me he felt like I stole Yuva from him after we stopped being friends, and after hearing that he was shit-talking me afterwards, I wanted no connections to him whatsoever. So, made a bitch fucking rebrand. Whole rebrand that was experienced from this dude. She says, I won't go into details in my experience. I don't know if I ever will. He's painted me as a liar and convinced me to say I was one to save his reputation too many times. That I feel like anything I could say would get met with, yeah, but he said BS. That, and he isn't worth my time anymore. I spent 2.5 years trying to keep that friendship that he was willing to break at any inconvenience. Also, Amara, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. As someone who used to consider him part of my family, he came to my family events and met my parents and extended family. Even they knew something was wrong, but I still defended. What the fuck was that? Okay. But I still defended him until my last breath. Even right before we stopped being friends, he wanted me to post a new doc defending him since drama was swirling around him again after the first VTuber Rivals tournament. I may not be comfortable sharing my full experience with him right now. It was 2.5-year friendship that left me with a lot of trauma, but I've already deleted all of my tweets defending him. I don't want to defend him anymore. He didn't deserve my defense to begin with. However, unfortunately, none of the things being said about him currently surprise me at all and align with how I knew him as a person. I'm so sorry to the people who are just now finding out about who he is, who have been affected by him recently. I wish I could have said something sooner, but I feared that it would fall on deaf ears, and I hope those harmed by him can heal and move past this. Manipulators are scary, and you never know how bad it is until you're out of there. So that's just somebody, like another person. Exactly what happened with my asshole friend, so I can relate hard with that pose. Yeah. It's, oh my gosh, it's so many people. It is just so many people who were aware, impacted, like, cognizant of this going on. We're talking about the Luminara stuff. Cognizant of these things happening, but nobody, like barely anybody, warned another person. That's my biggest thing on this, is there should have been some, like, you don't even have to fully say what all happened, but you can give vague posts and give warnings to other people to just be wary, be on alert. Don't let your guard down. Don't put all your eggs in this basket. Just that. Too many of them saying I should have spoken up. IDK, man, I'm telling people. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I would have been said something. Yes, the bystander effect in the content sphere needs to be studied. Needs to be studied. Holy hell. Sunny had made a little post here saying, when I was in talks with my current company, because Sunny is with Lucid Media right now, said I was asked almost daily to apply for Luminara. When I finally officially joined Lucid, he kept me around the Luminara staff / talent Discord and then kicked me out when he realized I wasn't going to join. Also, told people he never wanted me to join, but why would you constantly ask me to audition? Make it make sense. There's a lot more that I know that happened. People were overworked given tight deadlines, and a lot of big names were used like Iron Mouse. Also, Fluffy, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. He got the Lucid too. Well, I don't know, like fully too Lucid. It's just Sunny is a Lucid talent. So that's the connection there. And now we do have another production company. So this is what, the third or fourth company or like group at this point who have had some type of experience with Luminara. So V Stella Productions put out our experience with Luminara and Kamana. Said, it has come out recently, many people, including ourselves here at V Stella, have been affected and used by the company Luminara and their CEO, Kamana. We hope that we would never have to involve ourselves, but as the situation has been growing, we want to make sure the names affected are informed. As some of you know, back in August of 2025, we announced our partnership with the company, and then later in January of 2026, officially parted ways publicly. We officially wanted to make a statement as to why we left and the treatment we endured to spread awareness to his actions, as well as warning to any people that he used their names to get to us, as well as if he used our name to you. What is it? Do you let me know, but not know if you have enough info or risk being called sensitive or wait till others? Yes. Yeah, no, like, I've talked about that, though. I've talked about that. They continue by saying, Kamana's partnership with V Stella started off as more of a mentor-mentee relationship at the time. He promised loads of help, including bringing big names to our music company, including but not limited to Covercore, Niji Sanji, Issa Korva, and Obi Katie Cat, as well as his own talents. Damn. As well as his own talents, and promised us spots in conventions, concerts, and more. Don't worry about that. The fan just fell. If y'all did hear that. Then they say there are many agreements of doing many free songs for his company to try and boost together both companies. Many of these songs were never started or completed due to the lack of communication from Luminara. While in meetings and calls, Kamana would scream at the V Stella staff that they were not doing enough, that we as a team needed to do more for everyone, as we were embarrassing him and his company by being partnered with him. We decided after he tried pulling V Stella's name under his LLC, it was time to depart as a company and make our own path at this phase. And then they say, if Kamana or Luminara have at all tried to use V Stella's name to convince you to do something for him, or promised you a project that was never delivered, please feel free to reach out. We will gladly help and discuss anything that might have been done, as well as if the affected people have questions about what was said, feel free to contact us as well. Why are you throwing the fan down now? God, the saxophones are blaring. I just for their agency was so sad they didn't pick me. Now I'm happy. No, for sure. You dodged a bullet there. So that's just another production company that was impacted by this. Now, y'all brought up earlier, Neko Miki, I believe is how you say her name. I don't know the person. I'll be so honest. But Neko Miki does have, who's another Heirs talent, does have multiple posts. So the first post that she made is my experience with Luminara. She says, the fact that I can even write one of these when I was never affiliated with Luminara is infuriating, but I want to share this in case anyone was given the wrong impression of me because of Kamana. At Offkai 2025, Airs held an industry mixer. Anyone attending had to fill out a form, no exceptions. Kamana never did. During the convention, multiple creators told me how they had met with Kamana about Luminara, and that part of those conversations involved him speaking negatively about Airs and complaining about not being invited to the mixer. Towards the beginning of the convention, Kamana DM'd me on X asking if I wanted to meet. I thought it was strange to market your agency to somebody already with management, but out of politeness, I agreed to meet on Sunday near the end of the convention day. This is important. When we met, he immediately asked why he wasn't invited to the mixer. He framed it like a joke at first, but kept pushing for an actual answer. I told him I was just a talent and had no involvement in the guest list, then tried to move on. He then pivoted into talking about how he disagreed with Airs' business structure and believed he could do better. I asked a simple question: how would he sustain that business model financially? He immediately became cagey. I also told him that I was happy at Airs and felt supported by my management. He seemed genuinely surprised and almost offended by that. Even the mod I was with noticed the shift and felt uncomfortable. The conversation lasted maybe 5 to 10 minutes before I left. After that conversation, I learned that he had made even more of my peers uncomfortable while trying to get them to sign with Luminara. It was clear he left a negative impression on a lot of people, and that was already being discussed before I ever met with him. Despite only meeting him once, at the very end of the convention, I later found out he was blaming part of his negative reputation on me. He claimed I sabotaged his chances with other creators and even DM'd my own manager saying I was the reason his off-Kai weekend went poorly. He accused me of making up bad experiences with him to dissuade people from signing with Luminara, even though many of those conversations happened before I ever sat down with him. I will always be grateful to Naru and Airs for standing up for me and not backing down. Naru defended her talents, and from what I understand, that conversation was shut down pretty quickly. Unfortunately, I later found out that he has held a continued grudge against both Airs and me since Offkai. He had no issue speaking negatively about others, including people who were hurt far more than I was. I'm sharing this because I do not want my name and others used as an excuse for someone else's behavior. My only air quotes involvement with Kamana was a short, uncomfortable conversation with someone who then tried to make me responsible for the way people reacted to his own actions. Hi, Omar, welcome in. Happy Thursday. Oh, yes. This is Mickey's first tweet, by the way. There's another tweet. There is another tweet that she has in here. But we have to go into Corey Ojo's, who is another person with Airs now, but was with Luminara. Corey's tweet is, I think, one of the longest. And it was, I believe, back in, was it here? Back in October, Corey had announced a hiatus, basically, from VTubing. But going into it, they say my experience with Luminara, I was the first talent to leave Luminara. I'm glad I can finally say publicly that Luminara was the core reason I wanted to graduate and go on hiatus back in October of 2025. Which, for y'all to keep in mind, Luminara was founded in like July of 25. So like in 4 months, Corey being the first, being like a talent for Luminara in that 4-month span, went from being this talent to this up and coming VTuber agency to wanting to graduate. Just putting it in perspective. They continue by saying, I was villainized, I was isolated, the work I put into New Cloud was taken credit for by Kamana. I could go on and on about my experiences with Luminara, but I want to make one thing clear. I'm not blaming the staff or the talents. They were the victims too. My issue was with the CEO, Kamana. When I heard Cam and some other people in Luminara wanted to attend Anime NYC but couldn't afford badges, I wanted to be a good fellow professional in the space. I had 2 extra exhibitor badges because I had a booth, so I offered them for free. Cam then started passing around the exhibitor badge I gave him to people without my permission, including people I did not know. Cam and his squad would come to my booth and act like they owned the space. He even took a business meeting there and interfering with the interactions I was trying to have at a booth that I paid for. You can see in the Anime NYC stream VODs how uncomfortable I was with them taking over and abusing that space. So literal physical like evidence, video evidence of this being the case. He also kept asking my rep how much the booth costs and how to get one, digging for information while disrespecting the space I paid for and abusing the badges I had generously offered. And then there was New Cloud. Luminara wanted me to essentially organize a large-scale IRL event within 3 months, which is already extremely difficult. They claimed they would help out, but in reality, they did not. To be clear, there were a few honest staff members who assisted, and I appreciate them. But instead of Cam taking the lead, I had to direct people every step of the way. Anytime I was not involved in the conversation, things would fall apart and nothing would get done. And let it be known, I paid for the venue out of my own pocket. Luminara did not contribute financially to the event. While I was organizing the New Cloud concert, rumors began to spread internally about me and other staff. I was being villainized with this claims like Corey thinks this is her show and doesn't want to give anyone else credit. That was simply not true. Cam was the main person responsible for posting on the Luminara account, and I even reminded him to credit everyone who worked on the concert, no matter how big or small their contribution was. But the trash talking continued, and eventually I started to feel like I was the problem. I try really hard to word things in a way that wouldn't hurt people because I truly never had evil intent, but everything I heard made it clear that people were being encouraged to view me like a villain. I couldn't take it anymore, so I announced a hiatus. And honestly, it kind of was my show. That's not an exaggeration. I was doing about 95% of the work while Luminara had event production agency in their bio. Only one person from Luminara attended the New Cloud concert in person. I did not receive any real life help from Luminara. The staff at New Cloud were volunteers thanks to the USS Hornet, and I trained and onboarded them myself. Some of the talents also seemed to dislike me because Cam was spreading rumors and lies about me. I went out of my way to include some of the talents in the New Cloud concert. I even had artwork done for them, and some still refused to post the postcards I made or even repost the concert. After New Cloud, I was cast out. They supported other talents, but would not even repost my important projects. I had organized an entire concert on their behalf, released original music, and then Luminara did their first cover song without even asking if I would be interested in joining. I was used, isolated, and discarded once they got what they needed from me. I'm glad Luminara is no longer creating false promises. This is why I left. This is why I continued pursuing independent concert hosting. I wanted to prove that it was possible to create opportunities for yourself without relying on a self-proclaimed production agency. I'm heartbroken for the talents who were led on with false promises, and I'm genuinely happy they now continue their journeys without being tied to a false hope. I'm cheering y'all on. I'm not gonna lie, if I was Corey, you're gonna have to see me. You're going to have to actually see me, because what the fuck do you mean? Twice, there are 2 separate occasions where I pay for something out of my own pocket and you just try to take the credit for it? No. Simply no. Simply a no. A big fat no. Corey paid for their own booth at Anime NYC for this nigga to bring in a whole fucking squad and take over the booth. No. Yeah, we have to go box in the parking lot right now. Fuck no. Fuck no. Absolutely not. Pissing me off. There's no way in hell. There's no way in hell. And I need people to be a little more, I don't know, something. Corey, I literally went to her concert back at AceCon. She was so nice, brother. Oh my god. Yeah, this dude has fucked everybody over. And like, I remember seeing all the stuff about New Cloud that like Luminar was posting. I remember seeing all of those things. Just for it to be something that Corey did fully on their own without Luminar's help. Your face or your neck. Yes. Simply that. Yeah, no, it was fine. Her most recent post had anything to do with Luminara because her concert that she put on back in March was my intro to VTuber concerts. Oh, really? Well, yeah. So that is Corey's post. I'm going to wait on this one because we're gonna skip right to another big name, and this one's a big one too. Miss Lala has a YouTube video out. My experience with Kamana, CEO of Luminara. A 10-minute YouTube video that she has created that we will be watching together. I'm gonna put it at 2x speed because y'all know how I am. But this video has 8.5k views, over 1,000 likes.
Hey everybody,
I'm gonna put it to 2.0.
it's unfortunate that I have to talk about this.
I'll put it to 1.5. I'll put it to 1.5. I know some people can't handle the 2.0 speed. What? Whoa! Vex, I fucking hate you. I'm so nigga, I'm so mad. I'm so mad that you said all that. I'm furious right now. I ought to end the stream right the fuck now for you to call me out like this. Thank you for saying something about the subtitles because I was going to forget. You let that so Raven Thieves. Anyways, I do have it on 1.5 speed. We have subtitles. I'm gonna pause my music so there's no conflicting sounds so y'all can hear that. I'm so mad that nigga really said that nigga said, watch, she about to put it to 2x speed just to put it down to 1.75, which I would have put it to 1.75, but that wasn't an option. It only goes up by the 0.5s. I'm furious. I'm furious. Oh my gosh. Anyways, locking back in while this nigga's pissed me off. This is Miss Lala's experience with Luminara, the video that she put out, which I appreciate her putting out a video on it instead of, I don't have to read a big fucking tweet. She just says it here. So,
Hey everybody, it's unfortunate that I have to talk about this situation, but given the recent events that happened with Luminara, I figured it was time to talk about my experience specifically with the CEO of Luminara, Cam. This is my personal experience with Cam. This is not reflection of the talents that were working with Luminara or editors or artists or anything like that. I'm recounting simply my experience with him, which occurred during the summer of 2025. Cam, the CEO of Luminara, knowingly used my name to legitimize the company, falsely telling others, including investors, that I was assigned talent throughout the 2025 Off-Kai weekend. Prior to Off-Kai, we had one voice call.
which I just want to say, so much happened at this fucking, like, Off-Kai. See, he was just talking so much about how everybody and their grandma signed with Luminara at this Off-Kai, but at the same time trying to, like, be recruiting people at this Off-Kai. Continuing.
To discuss me hosting a potential game show in which I asked for a contract. I want to give some context as to why the situation was particularly heartbreaking and frustrating for me. I'm so grateful for the wonderful opportunities in life VTubing has really afforded me. It's really inspired me to want to pursue bigger goals that I've been curious about as a person my entire life. One of those goals is that I would love to be an MC and do live work with crowds. You know, whether that's hosting an event at a convention, introducing creators, you know, moderating panels. I love speaking with people. I love making people laugh. And I've been trying to focus on that recently within my VTubing journey. So I actually reached out to Luminara first, interested in a proposal to host a game show, as they were looking for creators, specifically VTubers, to work with. Kamana and I had 2 meetings in total. One was a voice call in Discord, discussing the initial proposal of me being a host for a game show, and the second was an in-person meeting at Off-Kai, which I'll get into later. In our first call, Kamana introduced himself as an expert in editing, social media management, and particularly knowledge behind YouTube. He confidently expressed his ability to turn one's channel into a booming business and had worked with a lot of different creators, often highlighting that he did it for free and volunteered most of the time. He said he worked.
Which I just want to probably in this point, he brought up Zentreya's name because he literally could not keep that bitch's name out his fucking mouth. Also, how many lies can one person say at one event? Infinite. As we've been able to find out from this nigga and how many people had involvement with him at Off-Kai specifically. Jesus. Also, hi Alex, we're doing good. Oh my gosh. I love her accent, but I do too.
Worked with a team of editors, and this was my first red flag that I initially ignored, because how are you supposed to build up a channel with a bunch of editors, but you're saying it's volunteers so the talent doesn't need to pay? Something wasn't adding up, because how are those editors being paid for their work? Where is the flow of money coming from? And how is this business model sustainable? However,
so many people, again, bringing up the fact that he had a unsustainable business model. Frame talked about it, Vex talked about it, Miss Lawless talked about it. So many people have talked about the fact that there was no way to sustain this, and he never answered the questions of how is this sustainable? How do you do this? Mickey talked about it because she worked with Ayers and asked him if you're not taking a cut, how are people getting paid? How are people getting paid? That is true. Once a liar starts, they will not stop. They just keep it going. They genuinely just keep it going.
I was naive and eager at the opportunity to make the first step towards a long-time dream of mine. I was open to his business proposal about this game show and being the host of it, in which he was also looking at some other creators potentially to be a part of it. However, I've worked in the entertainment industry for a long time, and I really wanted my ducks in a row, so I wanted to see a contract. He did send over this contract, but I had concerns and notes, and had expressed to him that I would like to go over these notes in person, and I was looking forward to seeing him at OFCAI, where we could discuss these notes in person. I was hoping to do this meeting privately, as we were going to be discussing the breakdown of this contract and the details within it. However, what I had assumed was going to be a private business meeting between myself, another VTuber colleague who was also potentially going to be involved, and him, it turned into a gathering of multiple people, including 2 other VTubers and 2 Luminara staff besides Kamana. This public environment was not appropriate in which to discuss the intricate details of my contract, as these other VTubers might have had different contract terms. When the meeting started, Kamana had teased that he had a gift for us, and it was at that time he slid a collectible trading card with the Luminara logo on it. And I flipped it around.
Keep this in mind. Keep this card in mind. We're gonna this comes back. This actually comes back in a very interesting way in the future. But this comes back. Keep this card in mind.
And it featured my logo and my artwork. Artwork that he had no permission to print from neither myself nor the artist for this promotional item for his company. It was at this meeting that I was simply told I was
forget my oh my god. It's a small mind. I believe in you. I believe in you. Math, there you go. He made merch without a confirmed business deal. Sure did. Took her art and logo, put his company on it, and just gave that to her as a present. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Like, I don't know. If I went over to fucking I can't even like think of a situation where like this would apply. If we take Dougie for example, could you imagine if Dougie went over to fucking like I don't know, like the damn V Chuds, and they're like, hey Dougie, look at this, and it's his name, his picture, his logo, and it says V Chuds on it. What? Also, Sundays, thank you for the 6 gifted subs. Holy shit, thank you. Oh my goodness, thank you so much. Holy. Rev up those lawyers because I'm real hungry for a lawsuit. Yeah, no, genuinely. Oh wait, that's the number I picked. Oh my god. Oh, thank you. So I'm gonna be eating steak through a straw. Exactly. I should have said 8, my bad. Single chat. Surprise, here's your shit that I stole from you. Genuinely. I cannot imagine if I go to a convention and I go to like, I don't know, literally even like not a bad like industry or not a bad like whatchamacallit agency. If I went to OFCAI, I'm going to OFCAI. If I went there and what's still existing? HoloLive, for example. HoloLive has a booth there, and some representative from HoloLive was like, hey Jay, check this out. And it's my art, my logo, and it says HoloLive on it? Nigga, what? What are we doing? Why did you make this? How did you do? No! What? So this is fucking insane. What's still listen, I don't know these things. That's insane shit to pull. I don't know how you'd like even think that would be fine. But anyways, we're going back to the video.
Neither myself nor the artist for this promotional item for his company. It was at this meeting that I was simply told I was talent. I was very confused as I hadn't signed anything, and I simply was interested in potentially hosting a game show. Additionally, at this time, I was already in conversation with a separate agency to potentially sign with them. Cam was very good at making himself seem reputable. He boasted about being Zentrea's manager at the time, as well as the one who built her YouTube channel. He claimed his unusual management techniques had caused some tension between himself and certain VTuber agencies, because he quote-unquote told it like it was and quote-unquote did a better job than any of their managers. He claimed that he simply wanted to help and uplift
that right there, red fucking flag. Obviously this dude is walking red flags galore, but just another one for the collection.
Others, taking nothing for himself. In our conversation, when I pressed to understand how the business functioned, what his 5-year roadmap was, examples of how a similar business model worked, out in the past for him, he did not provide examples and simply repeated the same script. Quote unquote, I just want to help people and I don't want anything out of this. I was very skeptical, and when I shared his answers to my husband, my manager, and my then editor, who is a very close friend, they confirmed my suspicions. They also revealed that he, when speaking to them during my meet and greet at OFCAI, admitted to clout chasing, an example being he had VTubers at OFCAI sign a white poster board with plans to get meetings with them, lied about his involvement with certain VTuber companies, and generally was narcissistic and arrogant. Throughout the entirety of OFCAI, I kept on having people come up to me asking about Luminara, as they were told I was talent, that they were considered.
So already telling people. Take a shot every time he mentions Entreas, we'd be, oh yeah, we'd fucking die. Jay's worked out. Oh, Sundays, thank you. I tell it like it is, except the scam portion of what it is. Oh, of course not. Can't tell it like it is, or else I'd be telling people that I'm a scam. Do it better than any manager. Yeah, no, that I don't know about that one right there. That is so suspicious.
In joining because I was signed, quote unquote. I attended the OFCAI industry mixer, and during the event, a VTuber manager from an agency shook my hand and said, "Congratulations for."
Stop it! Stop it! I do that shit all the time. Well, y'all like me? Oh my god, you like watching me? You like watching me or something? Doing the fucking, what's her name, Debbie Ryan, the hair tucked behind the ear. I'm sorry, I'm not listening to this. Wait, we have to go back.
And during the event, a VTuber manager from an agency shook my hand and said, "Congratulations for joining Luminara." And at the
manager was revealed to be an investor in Luminara. So one of the Luminara investors came up to her and said, "Congrats for joining," when she never even joined. She ain't signed no contract. This dude made this fucking card, promotional card, using her likeness, her image, her logo, without her permission or the artist's permission, slapped his name on it, and is just going around telling people, "Oh yeah, she's a part of Luminara. She's a part of Luminara."
At the time, I was caught off guard and confused, not knowing how to respond. This rumor had spread so far and wide, and it was completely false, and it was out of my control. It was very frustrating, and so much of my energy at OFCAI last year
Isn't
was
deceiving
spent
investors
dispelling
like
it.
oh, there we go. Isn't that like a huge fellow? I think so. I think yes.
Was spent dispelling it in conversations. At one point, during a private
Also, hi,
party,
Eric.
a VTuber attendee came up to me as I was leaving, sobbing, begging me not to work with Luminara because of how callous Cam was. And I did not know this person. They had simply just heard the rumors of me being affiliated with the company. When I confronted Cam about his behavior, I expressed that I was not comfortable with the speed in which he was navigating the entire situation, especially with no signed contracts, in addition to his unprofessional behavior.
Yep. Why else would I be here? Oh wait, relax, guys. Oh yeah, I do have the link emote.
He denied ever mentioning my name as a talent to other VTubers, which is
Which is a
verifiably
lie.
false,
Yeah.
and said he cannot, quote unquote, control rumors or what other people say. I still received inquiries and messages.
Oh, I didn't tell these people that you were. I didn't tell them that you were involved with Luminara. I just showed them this card that I had printed with your art and your logo that I then put my company's logo on and gave that to them. But I didn't tell them you were a part of Luminara. That's what this nigga's saying. That's genuinely what this nigga is saying. I didn't actually, and he also probably just said, "Yeah, we have Miss Lala on for Luminara." But also, even if he's trying to say, "Oh, no, I didn't tell people you were a part of it. I just showed them this card with you on it and my logo on it." And whatever. Yeah, if they make their own assumptions, you can't control rumors. Like, nigga, be so fucking for real. Oh, there's a yes, I'll make one tomorrow. Actually, I think I was kind of waiting to see if like all the information had come out, because I think Miss Lala's video came out today, one day ago. So yesterday, so yeah, I'll probably make a video for this. When I get the live notification. It's not my fault my investors thought you were a part of the team because I showed them a card of you being a part of the team. Like, bruh.
About my involvement with him and Luminara, as did my team members, which is what compelled me to publicly discuss me not being associated with Luminara, despite me being very uncomfortable discussing my business publicly like this. After I shared these social media posts, I started to receive messages from many VTubers who wanted to know the full story because, yes, they were told that I was becoming talent or
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna read this. So she had posted on June 24th She said, for clarification, I am not signing to Luminara. And then 2 days later, she had responded, and this was last year. She had responded, I really think I didn't have to say anything more publicly, but my DMs are blowing up. So no, I did not make this decision based on information from one single source. No, I was never signed with them at any point and had only a couple of meetings. Yes, it was based on a multitude of factors and ultimately made the decision that was best for me and my business. I'm not signed with anyone at this point in time. And please, if you hear a rumor, please ask me directly about it. I truly am an open book, and if you haven't heard it from me, please take it with a grain of salt. Thank you. So her having to like tweet out publicly, even though she doesn't want to have to say this all publicly, she's not with them because the rumor had gotten that bad. Yeah, I don't know. Like, no ads have played today, which is weird. I hope it stays like this. Oh, you're stuck in ad space? Oh, well, I guess not. I don't know. I haven't gotten any notifications of ads. Yeah, she was very cut and dry in the response too. Oh, Gamma time. Bet those channel points. We'll continue with the video while the betting goes on.
Yes, they were told that I was becoming talent or that I had already signed, and they had questions, but they also specifically saw a lot of red flags with Kim. For several days after Off-Kai, I was on nonstop phone calls. It was exhausting, fighting for my reputation behind the scenes. I was also informed that Kim had stated that I was quote-unquote convinced not to sign or join.
Heard Amazon was testing an AI ad system. Maybe it worked it. Well, hell yeah, no ads.
Luminara by a specific VTuber friend of mine and used this person as an excuse as to why I had no interest in joining and used them as a scapegoat as to why I wanted nothing to do with.
We know who the scapegoat is. For those who don't know, it's Neko Mickey. That's who the scapegoat is.
Luminara. Not the fact that I very clearly told him and communicated that I was unimpressed with how he conducted himself throughout the weekend. It was after this experience that I started working with an entertainment lawyer for any and all contracts I receive in order to protect myself from this happening ever again. This was just my story. I was incredibly frustrated at being led on in terms of
had to
an
get a lawyer
opportunity,
after
and not
this.
only that, having my reputation and my name used to trick and persuade people to join a company that clearly did not have a plan for long-term success, ultimately taking advantage of people's dreams and hopes and aspirations for their own journeys as VTubers. This experience came only a few months after finding out that I was rejected the final audition stages of a VTuber agency that I was really hoping to join. So the 1-2 punch was pretty devastating to my self-esteem. It was around this time that I also was navigating an incredibly personal, difficult medical situation. So everything kind of compounded at the same time, which was incredibly frustrating and heartbreaking.
It sucks.
And made for a pretty rough summer in 2025. And my heart breaks for all the other stories I've been reading and hearing about. I'm so sorry if you've been affected by Cam. You deserve so much more.
So yes, that is Miss Lala's video on her experience with Luminara, and really specifically her experience with Kamana, the CEO. And I just feel so bad for her and everybody else, and it sucks so bad. Especially, she had to go out and get an entertainment lawyer, show that this didn't happen again because of how bad the situation got with people using her name. And like she said in this, she did say that it was brought up that there was rumor of a certain scapegoat being used as to why she didn't join Luminara. That scapegoat being Neko Mickey, with her second tweet here saying, I'm comfortable with saying the person Kamana tried to scapegoat towards the end of Lala's video was me. I was appalled to learn this, as if Lala couldn't make her own decisions and Kamana didn't engage in such abhorrent behavior. Lala's story is not something I learned until after the convention was over at a separate meetup, either where she had already made up her mind. If anyone doesn't deserve dealing with Luminara, it's her. She is without a doubt one of the most genuine and intelligent VTubers in the community. Thank you for always supporting me and coming out with your story. I hope we can now both move on and put our energies into something better. Awesome. Thank you for the follow. Welcome in. So this is what happened between the two of them, or like with the two of them, back with Luminara, back with Kamana. And remember how I said, remember those cards? Remember those cards? RuneKeeper TV put out this tweet, quote tweeting Miss Lala's post saying, I would like to apologize to her, Ricky, Pia, and Elia, saying it was me who made the trading cards in question mentioned here in the video. At the time, I raised concerns with Kamana about including the Luminara logo. He assured me that these were strictly a gift for the talents and that all of the cards would be going directly to the talents. I was told these I was told these talents had all but signed their contracts with Luminara, and they, if for some reason they did not, they would still get the card as a souvenir, as a thank you for the time that they had put into working up to these deals. As I previously worked with Miss Lala, I reached out to her after the con. She made a very public statement about not joining Luminara, and I wanted to make sure that they were okay. I also offered to make a correction to the cards by removing the Luminara logo and do it for free. She was very thankful but declined, as she did not want to put any extra work on me. I would like to say I am sorry if Kamana used these cards in any way to pressure you guys to try and sign contracts in any way. I would also like to apologize for the 7 missing cards. I was paid to create 8 of each of these cards and told they would all be going directly to the talents, whether they signed contracts or not. After talking to Miss Lala last night, I confirmed that she only received 1 of these cards and was never made aware of the rest of these. Let me also say, please, if you would like to have these cards reworked with your proper consent and logos, to reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to do it for free. You guys all work extremely hard and deserve to not have these just be a stain of a bad memory. P.S. Thank you to Miss Lala, who is always being so wonderful to work with and being so understanding. We have worked together on things before, and she's always so very sweet. There's no bad blood between us, and I'm looking forward to working with her again in the future. And then these are the 8 cards that were created. Always say sorry. Lies naked on bare rug in front of a fire. What? Dougie, what? But these are the cards. So Ricky, Miss Lala's, Pia, and Ellie, I think. And they say if you were handed these, if you were handed one of these at OffCon 2025 as promotional material, reach out to me. I would like to have proof that Kamana used these without permission to promote Luminara against our explicit agreement, probably for legal purposes. It's a South. Oh, I don't watch South Park. I don't know anything about South Park. I wouldn't get the reference. I'm so sorry. But that is the, I believe, Rion. Oh my God. Hi, Rion. Can we get a shout out for Rion Lights, please? That is all of the tweets pertaining particularly to Luminara and Kamana. It only took us 3 hours to get through it all. But we're not done. D-Man, hi, welcome in. I've got just one more little tidbit for y'all, because we can't end there, right? We can't end there. We have 2 Google Docs. And we have 2 Google Docs for brother. You are now peer pressured to make long form video about it. What? What do you mean? What do you mean? Ah, fuck, I gotta make a long form. Oh, whoa, Sid! Oh, my fellas. Hello, welcome in, Raiders, Shark-Sighted. Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in, everybody. If you don't know who I am, I'm Ye J Bay, your 2-form Yappy Bat Tuber, and I'm going over drama today, but we are reaching the end of all of the drama discussion. Loon and Omega, thank you both for the follows. Welcome in, welcome in. We'll go, Woman Panther, what? What is this raid message? Please give me context for this. Iron K, thank you for the follow as well. Chat quoting me about the GOAT movie. That's incredible. That's incredible. We have been talking about the explosion, implosion, whatever you would like to call it, of Luminara Legacy. For those who don't know, that was a VTuber agency who just lied on everybody's fucking name. If I'm being so honest with y'all, it was a shit show when it came to everybody coming out with their experiences with Luminara. Also, let me coin flip. It's Tails. Tails gets 75. Oh my God, y'all bet big? How big did y'all bet? What the fuck? There's 30K to 45K? Holy. Well, Tails is winning 75,000 channel points. For those new here, we gamble every hour. So I was just wrapping up that gamble there. I was gonna pick heads, I would have lost. Well, there you go. But yes, we have just gone through over almost 40 tweets that were all involving people being fucked over by Luminara. There were big names involved with this because Luminara was made by Kamana, who used to be Zentreya's YouTube manager. So Kamana used Zentreya's name often, talked about connections with Iron Mouse, V Shoujo, Hollow Live, Cover Core, all of these different people, lied about talents who were signed to Luminara, talking about how Miss Lala was already signed, using her name along with many others to persuade other people to sign with Luminara. It was a whole debacle. Vexoria was involved in this. What was another big name that was involved? August Anomaly, for those who know who that is. I didn't know who she was before this. That's why I say it like that. But a lot of people, a lot of people were impacted by this. And so we are reaching the end of that big discussion, but we can't end without some Google Docies. Yes, Corey was involved in it. I don't trust anyone who used to work with each other in general, if I'm being so real. That's very fair. Used to be Kamana used to be Zentreya's YouTube manager, but would flex it as if he built up her YouTube, and whenever he was fired, was super shocked about, oh, why would she fire me? You know, I was doing everything perfectly. When he was fired by Zentreya's words, was fired because he was using her name to leverage other people to get to sign on to his talent agency or get to work with him by saying, oh, I have big connections, like, you know, I built up Zentreya's account, I can do all this, that, and the other for you, when that's just not true. Also, thank you for the alert. So yeah, that's been the whole discussion thus far. Now I did say I had something a little extra for you, if you will. So, an account called VForge, video editing and content production agency. So, this is what, the sixth agency in the mix of all of this? Fifth or sixth agency at this point. Said, effective immediately, VForge is no longer affiliated with Luminara. We wish them the best going forward. Now, this doesn't end here, though, because somebody quote tweeted this saying, I kept quiet. Is it Ace Lixer? Thank you for the follow. Welcome in. They quote tweeted saying, I've kept quiet because I believe in resolving things respectfully and professionally where I can, but given the recent revelations about Kamana and Luminara, it's time to speak up about VForge and more specifically its CEO, Sunny. So we're now not fully in Luminara shit. We're getting into VForge shit now, talking about their CEO. And this is I think 7-part tweet where whoever Rain Wright is, I don't know who this is, to be honest, a co-host of VTC The Gathering, they say, when VForge was first getting off the ground, I made contact with Sunny and then the COO Firefox about working together. As VForge and VTC grew, we finally did arrange some work together where I would help with the finances and partnerships and Sunny would help VTC with editing. We did one ad hoc consultation meeting where we did some good work reviewing contract language that I felt went very well. After we started negotiating a contract to formalize our agreements with the terms which Firefox and I polished to the state we are both happy with, unbeknownst to us, Sunny had decided to go scorched earth on the team, suddenly cutting ties with me and removing his COO Firefox and at least one other person in breach of their contracts and without proper compensation for their work. Also, Bubbles, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. How's it going? At the same time now, I independently tried to reach out to Kamana as a contact for VTC to work with Luminara. Sunny was seemingly under the impression that I needed his blessing to go talk to him, and at the time, I genuinely thought he was joking and went about my day. So this is a conversation between Wayne and Sunny where Sunny says, Wayne, you should have let me know you were interested in reaching out to Cam and I could have helped you set that up. You can't just friend request him out of the blue. He just DM'd me about it. It makes me look bad. Which Rain's like, huh? I hope that's sarcasm. He says, what sarcasm? Hey, Wayne, I don't think this partnership is going to work out. Thank you for your time. Crazy Drama Wholesome welcomes you follower back to Crazy Drama. No, literally. Which Wayne continues on here saying, All of this is to say Sonny not only did wrong by his staff and by me by breaking contracts and refusing to fairly negotiate compensation, but he also seemingly very deeply involved with Kamana and shared his manipulative tendencies. I have no doubt in my mind that Sonny was aware of the issues with Kamana, and VForge is only distancing themselves now because it's the correct PR move when an abuser gets caught. I advise caution to anyone working under VForge, at least while Sonny is in charge. And I have one last tweet. Whoa, Lunessa! Oh my goodness! Oh my fellas. Hello, welcome in, Space Dragon Raid. Lunessa, thank you so much for the follow, for the raid. Loopy, thank you for the follow. But Lunessa, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in, Raiders. If you don't know who I am, I'm Yay J-Bay, your two-form Yappy Bat Tuber, going over some drama in the VTubing space, dealing with Luminara and now VForge. How was your stream, though? I hope you had a wonderful time. If you have to raid and run, please make sure you're taking care of yourself. Stream's very tiring, but welcome in. We just got through this thread and we have one more tweet that is going to be the icing, the cherry on top of this shitstorm cake we have here. I watch all your videos for the tea. I gotta make a video on this one, I really do. But are y'all ready? Are y'all ready for the final tweet that will go into what is going to end up being 2 Google Docies? I don't know if y'all are ready for this, but because they're trying to reach 4,000 followers. Go! Congratulations! Congrats on 4K. That's awesome. I'm SpongeBob ready. Double Docky. Are y'all ready? It is a quote retweet of the VForge message here. No, of Wayne's message. Don't trust VForge. Don't trust Luminara. I was scammed out of $34,000. Here's the proof and a link to a Google Doc. $34,000. 34 bands. 34 bands. So my annual streamer salary down here. And that, my friends, gets us into the first of 2 Google Docies. Oh man, would you look at the time? I just, it's getting kind of late. I think I don't know if I can talk about the Google Docky right now. Oh, Rogue, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. I don't know, man. Do y'all want to? Don't you fucking dare! You gotta put your video out before Muujin. Oh no, I'm never beating Muujin when it comes to coming and putting out a video. I also, I don't have the following. Muujin's well known for this stuff. While I do cover drama and whatnot, I don't want that to be my only thing. So anytime I do put out a drama video or anything like that, it doesn't really do that well. Yeah, Muujin's fucking fast though. If you end the stream, there's gonna be a third doc. What about you? That's crazy. Okay. I will give y'all a little bit. I'll give y'all a little bit because it is a bit and it is late for me. Have a J drama channel? Maybe. I don't know. I still, again, well, I'll be honest, there's not too often that big drama like this comes up. And so I feel fine just posting about it with my actual channel, but I won't get through the full docs tonight. I definitely won't because it is late. I do have work in the morning, but I will at least give y'all the TLDR. And maybe I do a stream tomorrow. Maybe. If not, we might have to pick this back up on Monday of next week. But this tab is written going into this document about being scammed out of $34,000, given the TLDR to y'all. This tab is written as a TLDR for the history of screenshots between October of 2025 and February 2026. Zenona, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. How's it going? They do say, if you don't know me, I'm Soliel. While I do stream content, I worked at companies such as Accenture and other big tech companies as a brand and web designer and developer. I'm very familiar with corporate branding, and VForge was no different. Also, can I zoom into this? Okay, I can zoom in. There we go. VForge brought me on as a short form editor making ends meet, but I had offered my services to Sunny to help with their branding, and that expanded to their website designer and eventually becoming one of the higher staff members of VForge as a whole. These services were agreed to be paid at a later time with no exception as to the limit of that cost. Oh my god, Golden Toast! Hi Toast! Can we get a shout out for Golden Toast, please? Have you not noticed the last 3 years, including this year? Well, it's calmed down is what I mean. 2 streams for 1 drama is wild. I had to do that for, granted, I had to do that for the 1,000-page doc. So they continue by saying, when I was wrongfully terminated after showing my concern with how the agency has been building into, along with 2 other members sharing similar concerns, along with their own, I was asked to provide an invoice for the services I provided. Considering the consistent work I've done since October 2025, I asked for a total of $33,750 for the brand design, research, visionary work, along with website research, design, and development. I was instead given an ultimatum to accept the latest $1,000 for the full IP rights, or the assets never be used, and I accept no payment. So if you're leaving, I was glad I was able to meet you at MomoCon. You were awesome. Oh my god, you met me at MomoCon. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you. Wait, yeah, you did meet me at MomoCon. I do remember. I remember your name. I have it written down. Oh my god, thank you for coming in. No way, no way. Yeah, they were quoted 33,750, and VForge came back and said, I give you a grip. Take it or leave it. The lowest ball ever? So they continue to say, as of today, VForge has yet to pay me in full for my work and has since used and modified the work that I did for their website and their branding, even going as far as to transform certain parts in a way not true to any guidelines I've provided. As a person who's only worked in the corporate space, this is the first time I've been swindled for my work, and as a person who is currently unemployed and makes very little from content creation, an invoice like that helps pay for the 4 months of work and employment I passed up, as well as discarding any opportunities I was provided for being willing and continued member of VForge. Also, Jesse, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Yeah, I got $50 in half a bologna sandwich. Oh my gosh. And they say, what does this have to do with Luminara? Because obviously there's a connection there. Sunny was heavily persuaded and guided by Kamana, with the staff of VForge being aware of how Sunny's behavior has changed. The company started as a middleman to provide any service to any talents, and it was left as an editor sweatshop, focusing on time-limited edits to meet corporate budgets. What it is today is not what I or any of the staff intended. Kamana influenced Sunny heavily, and unfortunately others in ways I won't begin to describe. If you were affected by Kamana or Luminara in any capacity, my heart goes out to you. I've only recently joined an agency, so I haven't fully understood what is going on internally, but from what I've read on Twitter, it's painful, it's torture, and I hope you can find a place to properly call home. And for the indies and possibly non-talents out there, agencies exist that aren't harming their talents. Not every agency is a VShojo, and not every agency is a Luminara. There are agencies that want to help their talents' way of living while helping others build up in the process too. And one last thing, what I've just mentioned may have been one of the few moments I mentioned Luminara. Cam only joined the picture late into the company, so my input regarding him will be few. If you're reading to get any information on Luminara or Kamana from my perspective, it'll be a hard read. The full intent of this document is to expose VForge, specifically Sunny, for their practices. Like Kenji's agency. Yeah, Kenji's making an agency, for those who don't know, with this explosion of Luminara. Oh my gosh. Companies mentioned all round one company is quite tame compared to the embezzlement. I suppose. I met this company, they screwed me over in the first 10 seconds of meeting them. No, genuinely, that's like how every interaction is, it seems like. Yes, for those who don't know, for those unaware here, I can probably just go to Kenji's page. I can't imagine there be anything too crazy on his page, right? Kenji said, fuck it, making a VTuber agency. And then there was a follow-up because his bio says part of the VTube company. I don't know if that's a typo. I don't know if it's supposed to be the VTuber company, but there is some company that has their own website. They have three talents, Kenji being one of them, Dr. Death and Kai. And this is all that's there for now. It's just called the VTuber company. That's all we know. They had a booth at MomoCon. I didn't even realize till after the event no one was visiting, and they wanted me to visit it. Talking about the vibes were off. Well, yes, I did hear that, like, their booth was very, like, sorry because they were technically banned. Like, their CEO was banned from MomoCon by Dream Agency. So, yes, Kenji is making an agency, as we can see here. Don't know what'll come from it. Don't know how it'll work out, but that is a thing. I will not be able to go through because we have my experience, or you know, they scammed me out of $34,000. VForge did respond to this. It's VForge's response to the "Don't trust VForge. I was scammed out of $34,000." So they did respond to this. I can't go through these today. It's just too late for me. I might do a stream tomorrow to cover these. If I don't stream tomorrow, we will go through both of these documents on Monday of next week. So we have 2 docs in the back pocket for us to already go through. I know. I wish I could go through these tonight, but it's almost 11 o'clock for me. I got work in the morning. I'm not your favorite unemployed drama tuber anymore. I do have to stick to my schedules and bedtimes and whatnot. Yeah, so much reading. 40 tabs that I had open, the fucking YouTube video, all of those shenanigans. Stay tuned for the AJ Bay stream part 2, job haver, yeah. Oh, Seki's probably not still here, but I'm gonna be a little messy. I'm gonna be a little messy at the end of stream here. So for those who don't know, I feel like most people are aware of Banana Juju. She's the white monkey VTuber with the dreads. There was a whole debacle about that, however long ago, this, that, and the other, right? She supports AI generated art, all of that shenanigans. And today there was a tweet that came up about another artist finding out that she had stolen her, like, specifically this art, the way this artist draws eyes, had stolen that artist's eyes drawing for her own, like, whatever AI generated bullshit that she made, right? Let me pull up the tweets just so I can, like, show y'all more clearly. Which this artist did lock their account down because of this scenario and whatnot. Here we go. Showing y'all the tweet. She says, the banana girl used a commission I drew to AI generate her eyes. And this is somebody letting her be aware that this bitch took the way that she draws eyes from this commission and had it put in one of her AI generated pieces. I want to be messy here and say, one, I don't think this is the case with this artist, so I'm not saying this about Skittles specifically, because Skittles is the person that, like, they have their art stolen from. The amount of VTubers that saw this and have seen, because Banana Juju has been all about AI art for a fat minute. The bitch is a racist right-wing grifter. Of course she fucks with AI, yeah? So many people are now like, oh, this is so bad. When I tell y'all it is the meme, it's the meme of I excuse racism, but I draw the line of animal cruelty, except it is VTubers and popular artists saying I excuse racism, but I draw the line at AI generated art. Because the amount of bitches who were on this little, this cunt's side, back whenever she was first in her whole debacle, which, by the way, a black VTuber saying, I am uncomfortable with a white monkey VTuber having locks. That's all the tweet was. And that black VTuber and all black VTubers subsequently got dogpiled and sent hate and slurs and every this, that, and the other because of this stupid bitch. And the amount of people, which this is where I'm going to be messy, I'm going to call out names because I'm aware of it and I have screenshots of it. Zentreya followed Banana Juju whenever all of that happened. Alien Mixture was trying to be friends with Banana Juju when that was happening. Yomi Quinley was also She had like one like casual tweet between the two of them. But I want y'all to know the Socks girls, and I'm being messy and calling them out. The Socks girls were on that bitch's side. They were a part of that. They wanted to be all, oh, this is a new up and coming VTuber who, she got hate mod. She got so much hate from these disgusting black creatures that call themselves VTubers. Let us all go support and show love to her and try to be friends and buddy with her. But then she started being extra right-wing and especially started with the AI generated bullshit. And now, maybe we don't want to interact with her anymore. Maybe we do unfollow her. Maybe we don't be involved with her anymore. So I can excuse racism, but draw the line at AI generated art is literally what the fuck happened there. And she's been on AI for a while. She's been into that shit. She literally calls like Asmongold her fucking like Jesus or some stupid shit. When I tell you, I'm aware of this. I keep track of shit like this. I notice these things. I'm aware that these people were with her and standing by her side whenever she was being blatantly racist and having her cult following of white knights go and harass other black VTubers. I'm aware of all the bitches who were on her side, which when I tell y'all, it's a lot of big popular VTubers, popular artists. There were fucking, what's the name? I think, Niji Sanji? I think there were big Niji Sanji bitches that followed her when all of that was going on. There were like the big names on her side with all of that. When I tell you, I kept track of that. I will say, I try to give, because like I said, I called out names. I'll call them out again. Because they were people in Socks VTuber agency. I don't know if they were I don't remember when Socks was created, so I don't know if Socks was a thing when this was going on. I don't know if Socks became a thing, and maybe Fork of Cows was like, hey, 86 from that bitch, you're not going to be a brand risk on me like this. I don't know what it was. But I know for a fact, Alien Mixture had multiple tweets where she was replying to her, had multiple replies to Banana Juju tweets, trying to be like all friendly buddy with her. I do know Yomi only had one tweet where she had responded, where like Banana Juju said like good morning to her, and she was like, oh, good morning, wait, it's nighttime for you. Honestly, still a fucking red flag. If I'm being completely honest. And I know Zentreya did not have any replies with her, but Zentreya did follow her when that was happening. So, take with that information what you will, because I'm being messy and I'm saying names because y'all know who I am. I call shit out. I am aware of other VTubers. Y'all know me. I don't know large VTubers like that. I know whenever I see them who was on that bitch's side at the beginning of all of that shit happening before they were like, oh no, she's not. I genuinely feel like they were like really hoping that she was only racist, but then find out she was like super racist and like transphobic, homophobic, slut shames, fucking loves AI generated art. I genuinely feel like people were just fine with her being racist, but then it came out she was all these other things and they were like, maybe we shouldn't support her, but I was fine if she was racist. Like, okay, noted. I'll keep note of that. I'll make sure I remember that. So that's all that I have. That's all that I had. I wanted to be a little messy at the end because I can be. Why is that where racism is on the list? I don't know. And you know what? It's specifically because I feel like it's specifically racist towards black people. It's okay if you're racist towards black people, but you shouldn't be racist towards other people. And God forbid you generate images. People started knowing who she really is. Yeah, that's the other thing is like, it wasn't until she slut shamed Feifei, I don't know how the fuck to say her name. I don't know the bitch. It wasn't until she slut shamed her, and then this AI generated piece with Skittles are now where people are like, oh yeah, man. Oh, she's always been so bad. When y'all were ready to be on her side, whatever she was doing. Oh, Vickle, thank you so much for the 5 gifted. Thank you. Oh my goodness gracious, thank you. But yeah, no, these bitches were ready to be all buddy friends with her whenever she was being racist towards black people. But now that she doesn't, she's also just a shitty person. Because obviously, if you're racist towards black people, you're probably a shitty person in other forms too. You're probably just a shitty person. Racists are normally, I'd beg to say, there's a 1-to-1 correlation of a racist being a shitty person. And sure enough, she is a shitty person. And now people don't want to be involved with her. But black VTubers have been saying from the start, you know, she's a problem. Like she isn't a good person. But you know, I mean, who the fuck am I? The bitch pulls bigger numbers than I do. So what am I to say? All the people who support her pull way bigger numbers than I do. So what am I to say? What the fuck am I to this? Oh, fuck. Anyways, I'm done being messy now. Whoa! Hold on, sorry, this is genuine J reaction to seeing that image, Vex. Sorry, I responded to that. Pose it again yeah, I mean, again, like, I'm telling y'all this information as, 1, I'm being messy, and 2, because I can be, and 2, this is, I will say, from last year. Obviously, like, their tweets, their interactions with her are from last year. A lot of these people did unfollow her. I would like to believe that some of these people were just super unaware. I want to give people the benefit of the doubt, right? It's very hard to, but I want to give people the benefit of the doubt. I've interacted with Yomi Quinley, for example. We're mutuals. I even reached out to her. I'd love to collab with her. It sucked seeing that she did have some interaction with her. It was very minimal. And I've like, the one interaction I did have with Yomi on Voop Chat was great. So I'd love to believe that she does not feel this way, right? But it is just something I do have to keep in the back of my brain and in the back of my mind, that I can probably, and I've said this before, I've lined up on my stance of, there are people that I can, interact with, be cordial with, collab with even, but I would never trust you. And like, that's something that you'd have to work extra hard to earn that trust back. Because why were you even interacting with somebody who showed their true colors from the initial get, she showed exactly who she was. She showed how racist she was. She showed how homophobic, transphobic she was. She showed how much she idolized Asmongold to fucking claiming him to be like Jesus or her daddy or something like that. You show these signs, like this person's very clearly who they are, and you still choose to interact with that. I have to side-eye that a little bit. You have to work harder to get that trust back. But like I said, I'm mutual with Yomi. I'm not going to block her. I'm not going to, do anything like that. Again, I would love to collab with her, but I do know I have this in the back of my mind of, you have to truly show me, whether it's like on stream or privately, because I've had people like who have done kind of shady things, but privately I've gotten to talk to them and they are a different person. They have changed who they are. And I do believe in giving people second chances if they are putting in the effort to be different. That's just something I am aware of, and I have to be aware of because I have to protect myself as a black woman. Simply put. Also, let me catch up on chat. Sorry. Notice a lot of YouTubers are racist. Nux was one of, oh yeah. I'm scared and nervous. Step out of line. I also want to keep a positivity, but I don't approve of shit like this, period. Also fear, like, what do you mean? I'll be honest, like, it's not hard to not have this happen. Like I said, if you are very clear from the outset that, like, there are certain things that you allow in your community and you don't allow, it's not hard to, like, avoid problems like this. I'm very, like, y'all know me. I'm very open and honest about how I feel. I've pissed off a lot of people. I don't care that I piss these people off because I don't care for them anyways. So I'm going to always speak my truth. Now, if you do care and you are very much trying to, please, every side of the equation, if you will, I don't know if I'm the person to ask for advice on that. I'll be so honest with you. I'm always going to tell you to stand 10 toes down on business, be true to who you are, and be authentically you. And I believe if you are authentically you, you will find an audience. You will find people that enjoy and appreciate you being authentic. But if you are just trying to, I can't give you advice on how to be fake. I can't give you advice on how to cater to all sides. I can't give you advice on how to not rock the boat, if you will. Because I'm not somebody who does that. You'd have to go to somebody that does do those kind of things if you're looking for that advice. What I can tell you is if you want to stand 10 toes down, do it. If you want to be authentically you, unapologetically you, do that. I can give you that without a doubt. Simply put, I was afraid that, being authentically me, I was not going to grow. I was afraid that, I pissed off genuinely everybody who watched VTubers. I would never get a community because I spoke out on things that I saw wrong. I spoke out against the amount of right-wing grifters in the community. I spoke out on the people, the fucking lolicons who sexualize what is genuinely meant to be a child. I spoke out on all of these things that are foundational and a big part of VTubing, and I pissed off a lot of people. I've called out Zentrea on her responses to, the whole Nazi uniform thing. I've called out Iron Mouse on how I felt she responded negatively or should not have commented on something that ended up becoming drama for her. I've always spoken my truth, and I'm going to say how I feel about a situation, whether people want me to or not, to be completely honest. And even with me doing all the things that I've done, I'm blocked by Zentrea. I've been blocked by so many bigger VTubers and pissed off so many other ones. I've been blocked by a bunch of the fucking femboys because I didn't like them either, and I called their shit out. I'm still doing great. I still have a fantastic community. I'm still growing. I still was able to hit partner. I had a merch release. I'm going to be on the front page next month. You can do, I feel, whatever you want if you really and genuinely just stay true to yourself. Sorry, I was also yapping a bunch. Let me catch up. Let me catch back up again. She's great. I really don't have the heart to cut someone. No. And again, even by me being messy and saying those names, I'm not telling y'all, oh, you need to never follow Zentrea or support her again. Zentrea can be your Kamiyoshi, and that's okay. I don't have a problem with people liking these other people. I probably would have a problem if you're a fan of Banana Juju and you're here, but I don't think that person exists. I can't imagine somebody being a fan of her and also being a fan of me. These are just conflicting ideologies completely. But I don't these people that I've pissed off. It's okay if you like them. It's okay if you're a big fan of what's her name? Saba. It's okay if you like these things that I don't like. That's fine. I'm not telling you have to follow what I say. I specifically tell people go and form your own opinions. I'm just letting y'all know what my opinions are. That's all I'm doing by letting y'all know how I feel about certain things. And I've even said, Yomi, for example, while she had those interactions, I'm still mutuals with her. I still hope I can collab with her. I still hope I can actually talk and meet with her and get to know who she is, because I don't want that to be the defining trait of her, what defines her in my head. Sorry, I'm behind again. Become someone, I simply a casual viewer before I saw you stand on real shit, and that's when I started tuning in regularly and joined the Discord. Oh! Honestly, someone who plans to make history on femboys and why they have hurt the queer community. Also, no, not every femboy is like that. I want to make a video and basically, okay. Yeah, I think that would be fine. I mean, I'll be honest, people are going to be pissed off regardless. Whatever you say, you're going to piss somebody off. So, even if you try your hardest to, be, as whatever, as understanding and open about something, somebody's going to be mad. Oh my god, Rune! Hi, Rune! Can we get a shout out for Runex there? Whatever Shark's raid message was. They know banana juju step 2 weeks, but I already had her blocked and everything. I don't support. Yeah, and that's the thing is like that's why I say I want to give the benefit of the doubt. Granted, I feel like you had to be aware at the time. I'll just be completely honest. Whenever that stuff was going on, it was all over the timeline. It was very clear why she was becoming, like, why she grew in the way that she did and who she was, like, having support her. Also, Noipale, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. But I just, again, I want to let people be able to show me that they have changed if they want to show that. Now, if somebody doesn't want to show that, you know, it is what it is. I just won't fuck with you then, and that's fine. What's wrong with some femboys? Oh, there are femboy drama happening left, right, and center. I know, Shizu, I think, was one of the really popular femboys who was, like, upset at me because I called out the lolicons. I ended up, like, blocking him over that shit. But I just remember that name, so that was just, like, another, like, bigger name that I'm blocked, or I've blocked, or whatever it is. If you like Asmongold, you gotta go. Yeah, I know that. Again, but like, I don't assume, like, I don't think people that like and enjoy those things would also enjoy my content. Simply put, like, I like the most confused chatter. I don't know if you Filipino are not shitty. My main worry is that if I'm close friends with somebody, and know there's somebody, but everyone else is chill with them. That's my point. It's scary. Oh, I understand that. Okay, if you're saying like you're afraid you might end up being friends with somebody who is shitty, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes it does happen. And like, if you find out that like somebody that you liked and like were you know, a follower of Shine Neko, thank you for, or hello, welcome in. Sorry, I'm mixing my shit up. If you end up like becoming friends with somebody and they turn out to be shitty later, sometimes you just have to take the L. It happens like that. I've only had that happen once to me, but it does suck. There was somebody that I genuinely trusted. It wasn't in VTubing. But there was somebody that I genuinely trusted, and I found out that they did something really heinous, and I just had to cut them off right then. Granted, like a whole beware came out about them, so like, you know, I didn't have to like tell other people or anything like that. Like, everybody was aware of what happened because of that beware, but I didn't know that was the type of person they were. And I'm normally very good at being able to read and tell who like somebody is, but sometimes you do end up just having to take an L, and it sucks, but that's life. And so you just try to do better next time. I will say, just never fully cut yourself off. That's one thing that I want to stress heavily, is that while you may have bad experiences and it seems like every person is really shit, like in VTubing especially, I call myself a bat tuber because I don't want to like associate with VTubers, you know, like I say it jokingly and whatnot, but even how bad VTubing is, like the space is, the sphere, if you will, and how bad like it seems everybody is, I will never fully close myself off to VTubers. Like, I will always be trying to talk about trying to talk to and meet new people. Sometimes you find out that new person fucking sucks and you got to take that L, but you can also find really good friends. And like, if it wasn't for VTubing, I wouldn't be friends with the Fang Gang. And like, we literally have an entire group together which, by the way, Discord, if anybody's interested in joining the Discord, it is a community server between me and my 3 other friends, and we are called the Fang Gang. And even outside of VTubing, if I were to graduate VTubing today, those would still be my friends, even though I met them through VTubing, because they are like my best friends now. Tuna literally lives in my house. Dwani has come over to my house. We're all staying together for Offkai. Like, these are my friends, and I can always say, don't ever fully close off. Always be open to making like and meeting new people. And sometimes if you don't have a good read or anything like that, you'll get burned a couple times, but it's a live and learn situation. We're talking about banana, the fucking, yep, exactly that. That's exactly what we're talking about, Rune. That's exactly, you were spot on the money. Like I always say, you literally need to hoard many slot machines and always be pulling levers. Yes, exactly that. We aren't perfect, I need to realize, maybe not. Call the internet out. That's how I expect to be perfect. Yeah, when you're just human. At the end of the day, you're human. And like, oh, hi Lane, welcome in. And I'll be honest too, there are people that are very good at hiding who they are. I am personally of the mindset of somebody can only hide their true like intentions and who they truly are for about 3 to 6 months. 6 months being the latest. After 6 months, you are going to know who somebody is. I feel like I've encountered that like 99% of the time. People cannot stay hiding who they are forever. So there is that. Very beautiful. Oh, thank you. Oh, King Duck, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. If you end up around someone who's shitty, honestly, you got to take that L and figure out what you want to do going forward. Yeah, exactly. That's really what it is. You just, sometimes you do take that L though. Alina, hi Alina, how's it going? Whoa, Lane, thank you for the tier 1. Thank you for 2 months. Oh my goodness. I like Tuna. They got the chillest of vibes. Tuna's very chill. One tuber I feel was this controversial was Cinder. Cinder's whole thing, and Cinder with an S, because there is a Cinder with a C. There's a Cinder Slash, who's my friend. He's a great guy. Nothing bad going on with him. Cinder with an S was, that whole situation was just, she was a bad friend, to be completely honest. And like, it was a friend group falling out that was made public when it really shouldn't have been. Personally, my opinions on it. The thing with Banana Juju is that bitch is just racist and homophobic and transphobic and slut shames and uses AI generated art and like gasses up AI and shits on artists constantly, and people just somehow are not aware of any of these things, or like they just now finding out that she was all of these things when her entire brand, she built herself up from shitting on black VTubers whenever they said they were uncomfortable with a white monkey VTuber having dreads. That was literally what happened there. Yeah, and she loves Asmongold. Like that. That's what it is. Being a crap friend should not be canceled. Now, Torf, you are correct on that. Being a shitty friend should not get you canceled. We should not be seeing personal friend falling out happen publicly. But people are messy. People are just messy. Biggest moralizing of personal beef I've ever seen in my life. Excuse for people to have appropriate targets for insane cruelty. Yes, Rune, right on the money. Rune, you know, for being a cheese goblin, you got some good takes. You got, you're right on the money every time. I read every single Cinder doc, even the oh, you read it too. Daps you up. Join the Discord. Oh, thanks. The internet has forgotten to be gray. No, there's no gray on the internet. It is black and white only. She shot on Fifi. She doesn't seem to be faking her puppets. Oh, yeah, no, not at all. Woo, we built different. Yeah, she's just mean girl stuff. Like, it was just mismanagement at worst. Like, Juju is just racist. Like, she is just a shitty person. She is a right-wing grifter who loves Asmongold and is racist and sexist and, I don't know, probably sexist, homophobic, transphobic, slut shames, loves AI-generated art. Like, she is just a shit person, whereas Cinder was just like a bad friend and like was more focused on the business of things rather than friendship. Like that's, yes, I can. Oh my God, Rune, I literally said that earlier. I said I can excuse racism, but I draw the line at AI generated art because that's the Banana Juju situation. But you can excuse racism? Exactly. Also, yo, I've been yapping for too long. I don't know why we never got ads today. I mean, I appreciate not getting ads. This was awesome. I didn't have to like stop during the middle of any conversations or anything like that. I gave the benefit of the doubt to a lot of creators and regretted, but I'm not that native or naive to excuse prejudice. Yeah, no, it's joke's on you. You're demonetized. You're so right. That's probably what it is. Twitch was like, you're. All right, nigga, you being a little too extra now. We gotta cut your shit off. True was so important. Ads had to stop. True. Yeah, they sense the drama talk. They're like, oh, she got a lot of drama to cover. Maybe we let it slide. Maybe we'll let it slide. This time. One time for the one time. We gonna let that shit slide. But your girl has been streaming for an hour longer than I really should have been. So I need to take y'all somewhere else.
I want to make sure
Sorry, I forgot I had the browser muted. I'm looking for people to fucking raid, which I think I've found the target 4 rating here. Target 4 rating has been acquired, if you will. Just got here and you're sending me away. You hate me. Stop. Don't say that. I've been live for 4 hours. I've been live for an hour longer than I should have. I never hate you. I never hate you. I'm literally so excited to like meet you and Blanc and everybody else at fucking Offkai. God, Offkai cannot come sooner. So genuinely. So genuinely. So Leo S. Kennedy with a rocket launcher. Oh my gosh, you know, solid. Agree with valid points being made. I'm just too slow to type it out. You're okay, Smalls. You're okay. We love you here. We love you here. We love Smalls. Which, if y'all are not following Smalls VT and Runax, y'all should follow them both. But I gotta go to bed. I've been here for too long. So this employment is ruining the streams. I actually have to start working next week. My job has been pretty lax because of all the shit going on. But I do actually have to start working next week, so that sucks. But anyways, that's enough here. Here's a raid message if you are not subscribed. Here's a raid message if you are. I'm going to take y'all over to Zungi, who is streaming some art right now. Zungi's an amazing, talented artist. They have drawn me before. They drew both, I think, yeah, they've drawn my human and furry form for like fan art, and I forever appreciate it. So we are going to go raid her, who is working on some art for, I believe, Offkai fan art. She's been doing the Vichibon keychains, I believe. The Looper, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. I'm so sorry I'm raiding out here. But again, thank you all stopping by, listening to me yapping all of this shenanigans. I will be back Monday, 7 p.m. CST. My stream schedule is Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. So that is that. We are going to go raid out. So y'all have a wonderful rest of your day, night, whatever time it is for you. And let's get this raid started. Bye-bye!